Test, test, test. I think we are good to go. Yes, we are. Okay. Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a good day. I was going to go on a little bit later on in the day, but it looks like Bitcoin's actually having a rough time of it. So I thought I would pull up right now, give you guys some guidance as it was, and help you guys maybe figure out if you guys want to be buying or not. There's definitely a lot of chaos in the market right now, but we're basically really just trying to hold on to some support levels here, and it's making it very, very difficult to hold on because we've been breaking down below a few, but not the biggest support level here. So there's still an opportunity, I would say, for a lot of you guys out there to actually go into the market and actually try to buy right now. Those people who are going to be buying it right now are definitely going to be more of an aggressive trader who knows how to have a very disciplined stop loss, and they're okay with losing some money if we continue to fall, but they realize the upside here is very, very good. So they're basically just trying to turn a quick buck out of a high risk opportunity, but if they lose money, it's not going to be so much money where they even bad about it. So if that's you, go for it. But I do want to stress, if you guys are buying Bitcoin right now, just stay disciplined with your stop losses, and even if you lose, you're not going to be mad at yourself. You're taking an opportunity because Bitcoin right now is at a few levels of support, and we'll talk about that a little bit because we've messed up on our higher lows, that's true, but we still haven't broken down below the 40,222 support, and I'll be talking about that here for the next few minutes. Okay, so I know it's been a crazy day. Hope you guys are all having a good one. Hope you guys all saw my video earlier in the day, actually, and then I explained some stuff there about the weekly charts and things like that, and I'll be doing more of those videos because those videos seem to be doing a lot better than a lot of the other content I put out there besides the technical analysis tutorials, which is kind of nice to see. So I'll be doing more of those face-to-face videos. Loki's over here batting an eye. You can come up here, Loki. Loki wants to say hi before we go live here or start talking about Bitcoin. Yeah. We've been outside for the majority of the morning, so he's been having a fun time for sure. But that means he has like muddy paws right now, though. 1, 2, 3, attack. There you go. That wasn't very attacky. Usually when I say it, he goes psh and attacks it, but I think he knows he's on camera because whenever he's on camera, he acts a little bit different. Okay, let's go over here to the middle display very fast. Hey, her, I'm happy to see you. I know, Rudy call. I must be late for you. I normally don't stream this early because normally nobody watches my early streams. That's kind of how, that's kind of how I just built my time zone. You know, when I stream is definitely later at night. Everybody's home from work, or they're driving back home from work, or they're maybe at work, but when there's something like this big happening, it's definitely worth hopping on a little bit earlier. I would have been on actually a lot earlier, but basically I was just like, you know what, I still need to finish off my day. I had to finish some coffee. I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee already. I took Loki outside for a good amount of time. I put out a video about it earlier because I was underneath one of my sheds. And because I wanted him to be tired. If this stream does take a little bit of time, I want him to, well, he's not even tired. An hour outside apparently is enough for him, but it was pouring down rain outside, so. But, it is what it is. I do want to let you guys know here, the weekly chart is not looking the best at this point. Remember, the RSI is already bearish, the stochastic's already bearish, the MACD is the last bastion of hope. And if we can't, like if Bitcoin flushes in the next 3 days, that means the MACD is officially going to turn over, which is just going to be a scary thing to watch because it means next week, more likely than this week, is the time where we're going to start testing out that 40,222 level. That's about a little over $1,000 lower than we are right now. So I'm hoping that Bitcoin maybe stops falling in the next hour or two, and then we kind of stabilize for a little bit, have a pop, and then, there's another opportunity for bulls to take over, that type of move. Okay. So let me go back over here to the daily chart as well. Again, we never got bullish. It really annoys me because you saw this little bit of hope we had here. It never turned around. It just never turned around as much as we wanted to. We were open right there for the 20. And hey, Manny, happy to see you back. KK Performance, Navid, Lowboy, the J-Man. Hey, Lowboy. Loki did finish his poop, but it took him like another 10 minutes to find a good spot. For those of you guys that don't know, I put out a video earlier this morning and I showed Loki, but then I didn't realize that like he was taking a poop, and then at the end you just, like, if you watch it, you can actually see him poop. But yeah, he was able to do it. Hey, K Performance. Hey, if you're a strong buy, there's nothing wrong with that right now. Basically, if you're buying at this moment in time, let's go to the 5-minute chart or the 15-minute chart. 5-minute chart to kind of show what's going on. If you're buying right now, you're basically going with a little bit of a contrarian mix because we haven't hit that support level just yet. But on the other hand, there's a large upside. If you guys were watching the stream when I just talked before I went over here to the charting and data stuff, basically, how should I say this? As long as you're disciplined in your stop losses and you know how much you're willing to lose, you could actually buy around these levels. Right now, you see Bitcoin dropping down. We're about $200 away, $1,000 away from support here. Not a terrible time to buy if you did want to go on that aggressive move. Normally, for me, I'm not usually aiming for the bottom of a move. I'm usually let the bottom flush out, let it come back up a little bit, and during that consolidation after we pop back up is usually where I like to strike. That way, it doesn't keep on falling after I buy. It's like a mental thing for me. I don't like to buy then watch my money go down. Like here, we could even let's see, like, because we had a few levels of support. This is the 4-hour chart. We're breaking down below all those levels right now. I don't want to buy right after a breakdown like that. We have 45 minutes before this 4-hour candles, and we should spike back up a little bit, like through the fair value gap. But besides that, I'm not too optimistic here. See how we're breaking down below this other order block right there? You're going to see the death cross coming on the daily chart. Now it's basically, can we hold that next support level, which is kind of 40,222. We have smaller ones around here, like you see this one right here on 40,757. That's also another one where people might be looking to buy back in at. For me, though, it's going to be more of a day trade, not a swing trade out of this. Aggressive traders are going to try to buy up over the next couple hours. If you guys are doing that, by all means, go for it. It's just not my strategy. So it's not like buying right now is necessarily a bad thing. It's just not what I would be doing right now based on how I trade, because I'm a big momentum trader. I would have been shorting the 4-hour chart basically starting now. It's kind of hard to do that right now though, just because of we're heading down towards a support. I don't want to short into a support level. 2-hour, no, even the 2-hour. Not my favorite. The 1-hour, was that giving us any heads up? Yeah, started giving us a heads up way back over here, but it still would have been iffy for me, because you guys know how much we've been ranging over the past few days. Looking at that and all that sideways action, my technique doesn't work with sideways action, which kind of sucks. But you know, while those moves happening, usually that's where you want to hop in. Now, 15-minute chart, 5-minute chart, still coming down a bit, but it's you know, it's getting tougher for the bears to push us down. But we are making new lows here for the week every few minutes, so we'll watch and see how this plays out. Now, I want to go over here to the 4-hour chart, because when I made that video for you guys today, I primarily was talking about Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes down, you're probably not going to feel all too bad, honestly. It's the altcoins that are going to bring out the pain in you and, you know, bring a little bit of sadness along. Ethereum, remember, a whole bunch of people were talking about how Ethereum was full send, or I think it was Crypto Mason, I forget the guy's name, but basically there was a lot of people on Twitter talking about how Ethereum was looking very bullish. It's so hard because sometimes Ethereum does lead the way for Bitcoin, but most of the time Bitcoin leads the way for Ethereum here. And you can see after Ethereum had so much potential, it was all wasted just because Bitcoin started to fall. Look at that. Death cross, flush, another break of structure, trying to head back down towards support, but it's just not looking pretty at the moment. But, you know, it's not just Ethereum. You go over here to ADA. Look at that. Already coming back down. Dogecoin coming back down. AMP coming back down. Ape coming back down. And Ape actually had a very lovely pump yesterday, but look at it now. It's down 10%. So, you know, Arbitrum is breaking down below the 20-day moving average. That's not a good sign. Arbitrum might be a buy around 161 if it can't find a way to hold here. AVAX flushing down, going to be heading down closer to supports. Death cross imminent. AXS breaking down below the 50 here. It broke down below the 50 a while ago, so I'm not too concerned about that. Although the last time we had a death cross was over here, and it did lead to a little bit of a drop. So you're seeing some altcoins definitely have some bad times. Bitcoin Cash actually not having that bad of a day. It's only down 3%. It's kind of around a bunch of moving averages, though. There we go. Anything? Bonk is down quite a bit. Oh, yeah, Bonk. Poor Bonk. Not doing the best here. Anything else, really? XRP, Yeah, we talked about XRP breaking down a while ago, but this is the weekly chart. There you go. Yeah, so altcoins are definitely where you're going to be feeling some pain. Sand's actually not terrible. It's down 5% actually, but it's heading into an order block, which is going to save. But again, death cross, yeah. So some of these technicals seem to just finally be coming along. But this is your opportunity if you wanted to start dollar cost averaging again. You're looking at some pretty good discounts. Like for example, Sand. A few weeks ago, was up at 68 cents. Now it's at 48 cents. That's a 29% discount. If you wanted to start dollar cost averaging back into positions, that's going to be a good optimistic way of going about it, while realizing that you're saving some money if you guys are thinking for the long term. If you guys are thinking for the short term, probably best to just sit on your hands, wait a little bit, see how Bitcoin consolidates here, because every few minutes we are making some newer lows, and we're basically like, here's the 1 minute chart. We're coming down. 4-hour chart shows you that we broke down below all the support that we've been accumulating since Friday, right? For almost a week now. So you see all that support kind of breaking down, and now we're just trying to head back down here to 40,761. I'm not really looking at that. I'm looking at the support from this larger move. I'm looking way back over here, and we'll see how this happens. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. It can be technicals and stuff like that, but just understand that if Bitcoin's coming down, 99% of altcoins are be coming down, but what you're more going to be likely to get from me is not, hey, we're heading bearish. It's more of a confirmation of we're heading bearish. On top of that, you'd be looking at support levels and opportunities to buy, whether it be Fibonacci levels or just flat out ranges or order blocks and things of that nature. Do I think crypto is spooked by the possibility of interest rates dropping later in the year, like June? I mean, yeah, it's that realization that's happening. Sure, we've been talking about this, I think, since, well, I've been pounding the thing about this since Thursday. That's why I didn't think Ethereum was going to blow up, and I didn't think we were going to have that next big spike after we had inflation. I wouldn't call myself a data nerd, even though I like to look at data and show you guys data, but I think I like to find patterns. It's part of my good old ADHD. Patterns. And one of the patterns that we've had is when inflation starts to spike again. We've only had one instance of this, but it was a pretty good example. When inflation starts to spike again, we do see the dollar index rise, and then on top of that, we do see the sorry, Loki's over here playing. We do see that the market does typically not like that. But usually it takes a week to 2 weeks before that happens. Like the Bitcoin's having a pretty fast reaction to it. The stock market's not having the fastest reaction to it. The stock market is just kind of undecided of what it wants to do right now. So if we take a peek back out here, let's go to the weekly charts very fast. You can see Bitcoin looks like we're just ready to freaking come down and crash. Hopefully that's not the case. We haven't broken down yet. So as long as we haven't broken down below that 40,222 level, we're good. All right, as bad as we are right now, we're trying. Okay, that's the last thing to fall. Then we got to start worrying about if we break down below the 20-week moving average, because typically breaking down below that 20 after when we're in a high spot, it doesn't really lead to good things. Yeah, we had a nice bounce off of there back in the second rally. Once you start breaking down below that, ooh, it's not a good moment when we're so overbought, right? Now, look at the Dow. You can see the Dow teetering, right? It's teetering, but like even today, it's up 20.2%. It's not like it's just dropping off a cliff like cryptocurrencies. Look at the day chart, right? It's at a little bit of a support level. It's thinking about it. When we start breaking down below 37,083, kind of how Bitcoin has a support level, then you start to be more concerned. But you can see, look at this. See this death cross here? Look at Bitcoin's death cross. It's so much closer. The Dow Jones, it's coming around towards the end of the month, maybe another week from now. The NASDAQ, another week from now. SPY, maybe 2-3 weeks from now. So a little bit different. What you're seeing is a different type of setup here. So you're seeing a setup like this where we have a resistance. Now we have a support level after yesterday, and you're waiting for those moves to happen before you start to strike and hit some of those SPY puts, basically. US oil, all of a sudden, we're ticking back up just a little bit. We'll see. This golden cross is not a good sign. That means prices go up. That means inflation goes up. That's just problems we don't want to have. Again, this goes back to everything going on in the world. Ukraine-Russia war. President Biden came out this morning and said we're going to bomb Yemen even more. That's even more destabilizing to the region. You know, everything going on in the Middle East. You got Gaza. What are those people called? Dude, my brain is off, and I've had a bunch of coffee this morning. Israel and Hamas. There we go. That war going on over there. Normally, we like to have a pretty stable world. The world is destabilizing, and like we're hitting another destabilization point with the Yemen added on top of it. It's just not good. So that doesn't really help things. The dollar index, it's like it's trying to break out and blow another top here and head up towards 104, which is going to be devastating for the crypto market, bad for the stock market. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And that's one of the reasons. Remember, daily chart. Inflation data came out right here. I gave the warning. Be careful. The dollar index usually takes a little bit of time to grind up, but it does grind up when it needs to. Bloop. Now we're here. Will we keep on going up? We'll wait and see. Maybe there'll be a peace talks in Gaza and Israel. Maybe there'll be peace talks in Ukraine and stuff like that. But we're starting to see the opportunity here where now we're looking at a golden cross coming on the dollar index. We may even have another one here pretty soon. All the goodwill that we had between the 50 and the 200, where we think, okay, maybe we can keep on going down. This will be a good sign. It's kind of not happening now. Remember last time we had the death cross here? Boom, it usually comes down a little bit. Last time we did this cross over here, it comes down. Let's go over to the weekly chart here on the dollar index. Let's turn off the Lux algo thing just so I can get all those little numbers out of the way. All right. We're still above the 200 weekly moving average, but what's happening now is we had that golden cross a few weeks ago, and we're kind of getting choppy here. So this choppiness is basically as bad as I think we're going to get. So I don't think maybe we're going to go back above 107 or something like that. It may be a while before we break 99.68, but there's a good chance we can just range in here, and that range is going to cause some issues. Because remember, back when we had the dollar index spike back over here in July of last year, after we saw inflation tick back up for the first time in a while, the talk was different back then. It was, are we going to have more rate hikes? Now we're talking about, how fast are we going to have a rate cut? It's a different type of mentality. This mentality leads you to be much more bullish than bearish, okay? So when you're worried about rate hikes, you're just on the defensive. But when you're worrying about rate hikes, you're basically at a starting line and you're all set and you're just waiting and you're trying not to false start, because if you false start, you're basically just having your money somewhere where it's not doing anything for you. You're not making a profit really that fast. You're just waiting. And then once, of course, the rate cuts come, you're going to see a full-on sprint. You're going to see the dollar start to come back down, and then hopefully inflation will have reached the target they're looking for. If they start cutting rates before the 2% inflation is hit, that's going to be bad, because that speeds up the economy again, and then people start to buy again because lower interest rates, cheaper houses, cheaper cars. For demand, the supply is still going to be the same. It's going to cause inflation to go back up, and then we're going to be pissed off when we have to go come back and save this again. So the Federal Reserve understands that they need to slow everybody down, because the market thinks rate cuts are coming in March. I just never saw why that was happening. All the pundits on CNBC, Fox Business, and Bloomberg talking about that, it just drives me nuts, because I don't see any way that's possible. But heck, they run hedge funds. I do not. So, you know, I do not have that background. They're looking at a lot of data. But I think sometimes you just have to play it simple and be like, that doesn't really make sense if you kind of just zoom out a little bit. But yeah, so you can see the breakout that just happened. We're still consolidating after that last breakout, and we're looking for another breakout here pretty soon. The golden cross is happening on the 4-hour chart. We haven't had those in a long time, right? Usually it means a pretty decent pump is coming. It doesn't have to be this large one. It can be something smaller like this or smaller like that, but it does usually symbolize something bad is happening. Look for those support levels here. Bitcoin should have a breather here pretty soon if it comes back up here towards 104,286. That could be a little bit of resistance, calm us back down a little bit. That's a breather for Bitcoin, though. It's not like Bitcoin is going to stop and all of a sudden start going up. It's a breather, which is a very good thing, because during those breathers, we have an opportunity for global events to shift the dollar to come back down, and that's what would actually move Bitcoin back up, okay? Oh, looks like while I was talking, we actually had a little bit more of a dip, but we're starting to come back up here. So you're starting to see Bitcoin stabilize just a tad, and you can still see those moves. They're still trying to flush Bitcoin down. Let me go to the 1 second chart. Does this work right here? There you go. See, they're still trying. There's a whale battle going on here, and bears are winning. Bulls are slowly catching up. That doesn't mean that this drop is over, but at least for the next maybe couple hours, maybe we have an opportunity to go more sideways. It, you know, calms things down a little bit after we have a consolidation. That's when you might have the potential for a reversal. Hey, Knucklebuster. Yo, bro, 36K? Yeah, so 36, 37, 38 is pretty much the range I'd be looking for. When we look at this right now, there's a few different levels you could use. For now, actually, let me just go over here to a blank Bitcoin chart. I don't want to have all the other data. Why are the numbers on the screen? Yeah, they look abnormally large, don't they? There you go. All right. These also look to be not set to chart. This is important because we're actually going to be using some of these moving averages as levels of support and buying opportunities at the same time. There we go. All right. So there's a few different ways you could do this for levels of support. And now that we had that big spike last week, a lot of the data that we had before, it's actually going to be a little bit outdated. So it's good to have these new numbers in here, right? We have a support level right here. That support level is $41,068. That's actually above where our support level that I'm using right now, which is right here, the 40,222 level. But you can see it's right there, 15. See how we're trying to bounce off of it right now? We'll see. I mean, usually when we see numbers like this, there is a prolonged bounce. Again, we'll wait and see. Like I said, there's a little bit of a battle going on right now, but you saw within those last few, I guess, 2 minutes. I know it looks crazy, but 2 minutes of second charts can actually show you some stuff. We're looking for an opportunity to prolong that at least. Let's go back over here to the weekly. What I'm going to do now is actually do one other thing. I'm going to add the same thing on there, okay? But now I'm just going to turn the fib levels based on long scale on. That drops it down a little bit. This one is all the way back down here towards 37,315. That's kind of where if we do break down, and we haven't broken down yet. So until we break down, you're not going to really, this is in the back of your head. It's not like, oh, I'm getting ready for this. You can see that there's a support level right there. And what you're starting to see is a little bit of clustering between two different levels of Fibonacci's. So this zone right here probably would be nice. What I'm looking at though is you see how this 20-week moving average is creeping up. If we were to flush over the next 2 weeks, you know, let's say this week we break down and have a big crash or something like that. And the next week we have another big crash. That second week, as far as I'm concerned, it would be the time to buy because you're looking at a cluster. On top of that, you're looking at a 20 moving average. It's not going to be some type of move, maybe like that comes back down and then we all of a sudden start skyrocketing. We would probably, there we go, got the magnet. Let's have that. There we go. Back to yellow now. What would happen is we probably come down here eventually, we cluster, we come back up, then there's a consolidation choice where we are either going to break down below it, bounce here again, then break down, which would be bad, but that's a long way away. A lot of stuff can change between then. A lot of inflation data can change between then. Or we bounce off and then we consolidate and we break out on the other side, ranging again before either making some semblance of a double top or actually breaking out here, which would be a nice move. The worst thing I think for me and my personality as a trader is we would actually end up having some type of consolidation where we're making a lower high, then we're consolidating all the way until like June, July, then we have a breakout, and that breakout is the one that really sends this full score towards all-time highs and stuff like that. Now, all of these are fine, you know, it's just basically how long it's going to take us to have a really sizable move. So that range right there is what normally I'm looking at. The other way to play this is, of course, if you want to add more clusters, which is what I typically love to do. So I don't have the magnet set on here. Okay. See how there's another little cluster right there at 37,831. One more. You don't need to have too much because really we're only looking at a few months of data, about a year's worth of data now. But you can see this cluster right here. This zone right here is usually going to be an opportunity If we get all the way back down to 36,000, I'll be surprised over the next few weeks. I'll be very surprised. If we do, it won't be like we're going to be closing down at that level. It's more likely that we're going to have some type of crazy wick and then it bounces really high off. But I just honestly don't see us coming back down to 36,000. What you do see though is if we start breaking down below this one right here, 39,744, that's where you see this huge gap open up. And that gap is not going to be the best thing, because then we start heading for this cluster. And I mean, the cluster is pretty much from 37,000, I would say, to 37,000 to about 37,700. That's kind of your buying range right there. It's a nice buying range. Usually you would start entering positions around here, wait for that hard drop. You'd buy that hard drop along with the 20-week moving average. Then you'd be playing the bounce back up. That bounce, I don't know how long it would last, so you're pretty much going to be staking your profits as needed, but you're not going to necessarily just be doing one buy, one sell. It's going to be maybe 2 or 3 buy-ins, then 5 sell-offs, so 5 scale-outs basically. So you have that cluster right there. Now what I would say is, hey boy, you okay? Yeah. Okay. Came over to me and he just sat down and wagged his tail like he's like, hey, did you forget I was here? And I was like, oh, I know you're here. Okay, yeah, I know. He's having a good day. Okay, the other way you could play this is, again, I don't think I have any of those Gann boxes on here, but let me just add one onto my chart very fast. Gann square. Hold on. Bloopity bloopity. 90. Ooh, 90 would actually do just fine here, I think. 544. Can we go down to 500? Are we still working with something? Yeah, okay. Alrighty. Actually, let's get a Gann box on there before I forget, because I will forget. I mean, you can clearly see some of these resistance levels were kind of there. Some of these support levels were kind of there. If you're looking at this right now, that support level is around 38,575, so it's a little bit higher. You got one around $38,000. So these might be some hidden ones that you guys might consider. Oh, this is the daily chart. Let me look at the weekly chart. I just want to see if there's anything. A good low point is probably going to be 35,000. 35,000 is a good low point. I don't think we're going to hit it again because of the 20-week moving average. This is for like if we do continue breaking down, look for that 35. We're not anywhere close to that. Don't worry about it right now. There is one over here on 38,000, one around 38,000, 38,961. So 39,000, 38,000 is also one around here. I just add something. Don't worry about the angles. It's not about the angles. It's kind of more of the gaps between the angles. So how reliable have these been? I mean, yeah, they're a little bit reliable, a little bit. 40,000 bumps off. Really not too many large areas until you get to the end of January. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible, guys. It doesn't look terrible. Sorry for adding all this stuff on here. I know it's confusing to the eyes. It's too much for me, and it gives me a headache just looking at it, which is why I think the majority of people out there don't do it too much. Especially because I didn't even have log on. Well, actually, that's a good point. Let me try this very fast. This will be easier than going over the old stuff. Sorry, this is like the tedious part of trading, just setting up stuff. Oh, this is a little bit different, isn't it? This one, that support kind of grinds down. It's not like a complete fall off. You have a support level around 36,000. We talked about that a while ago. Daily. Oh, this one kind of grinds back down. This one, though, I mean, it's had some uses, but you can see how it hasn't really been the best as far as a nice hard level of support, hard level of resistance. I guess it's just because of all the news that we had, it kind of messed up. That could also be something, but if it's not really fitting here, I don't really expect it to fit too much later. We'll come back to this, both of these a little bit later on, maybe next week or two, and see how, if any of these levels actually helped us out. But what I'll do just in case here is I will need, Jesus, my brain is totally off today, isn't it? I didn't adjust this, hold on. 500. The heck? I thought it was set to that. Did it not just say 540? It's really gonna make me do this over, but that's okay. I just want my 90. Okay, from here, what number is that? 600. So 500 shouldn't make it pop up all of a sudden. That should work out there. Okay. Can I bring this down a little bit lower? I can't cut it to 250. Maybe just go down to 400. Let's try to stay around a little bit. This one doesn't look as bad. You can see a little bit more there. I like this one a little bit better. But that one's around 39,000. Death cross here, breakdown below that. 37,000, 37,700. 37,100. Come back to that low 37s though, those 38 to 37,000 range. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of stuff here. What I'll do very fast is, I know some of this will just look like overlap, but bear with me for a second. Probably do another 60 seconds of this. Oh, we don't need the Fibonacci levels one off this one, don't we? We still have that cluster really right here. It does go back down to 36 like we talked about before, but honestly, the 38 to 37 seems like a prime place to start buying. Because we can always bounce off of support levels like those basic ones, you could always try going in there a little bit earlier, but the way I'm looking at this now, there we go. Still, it still looks like they're on that $38,000 level. It looks like since we've been talking though, Bitcoin's been trying to hold on. It's trying to stabilize. You see, put this back on to auto. You know, we're trying not to fall again. We've tried a couple times, but didn't really work out the best way. Thoughts on BitTorrent long term? Does a connection to Tron help or hinder it? It probably helps it. The problem with BitTorrent is they changed their denominations and stuff a while ago, so it stopped me from buying it more of it. Basically, I'm just holding to see what happens, but I did have some hope because over the past couple months it did have a pretty nice pump, which I was excited about. But it probably helps it overall. Back to the 1 minute chart here. Okay, guys, remember, don't spam the chat. Don't spam the chat, because that'll just get you banned. Do I ever use fib circles? Yeah, I think I even have a tutorial on fib circles. I typically don't use them all too often, just because, you know, it usually requires a little bit of math, and I hate doing it. There's different ways to do it, but the way I've kind of trained myself to do it is, this is not the right chart for this. Whoop, all that time and effort gone. It's not too much work to bring it back over. So typically, blah, 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 I go from a low to a high. There's different ways to do it. So like watch a whole bunch of videos on how to do it because there's so many different types of ways. There's not so many. I would say there's probably like 4. This is the way I found out that I like to do it. This is not probably the best way to do it, but this is the way I like to do it. We've kind of already fallen out of the majority of this, though. I might have to add a new one for this new rally that we've been seeing. Oh, I didn't do the best job. No, it actually hit the top of it. That's okay. Back over here to the weekly chart. Something feels off about... Oh, I don't really have the background color set up. That's what it's driving me off a little bit. Okay. Basically, they're kind of more like stepping stones, like step, breakdown, step, breakdown. No step right here. We actually managed to break down. See how everything got really choppy afterwards and took a little bit of time before it got back up. Breakdown, breakdown, breakdown. A lot of breakdown. Didn't really hit back up against this. We're not really hitting any level for quite a bit of time. May, also the time where we could be, if we have a prolonged downward move, May would be a good time to have that pop off. Let me... We should do a smaller one. You could also go from a low to a high in these circumstances as well. Let me just show you that very fast. But I don't like these ones because, you know, it's not showing you anything really. Like, what's that going to show you? It's not going to show you anything. Not exact, but it's good enough for now. Jesus. Yeah. Check out support. Okay. It's actually pretty similar to the last one, so. This one's back in May as well. Yeah. Wait, no. Did I mess up here? Oh, because I moved from weekly to day? No, my thing is just completely off. I went to the high on accident. Let's do this on the daily. So that's going to be fine. That's going to be fine right there. Okay, yeah. We have a little bit of support around 40,822, 841. Kind of the support that we still have over here, though. But yeah, it's not going to tell you all too much here. To me, fib circles are kind of a grand scale type of thing. Kind of how you use GAN boxes and stuff to go grand scale. But the issue is, when you do stuff like this, Bitcoin's moved up so fast that if I took off log here, try to find that low point here where it actually matters, it's very difficult. But I mean, if I was to tell you guys one of these tools that people really don't use all too much, it might just be the basic pitchfork off of TradingView, because it's technically 4 indicators in one. So you can be going down here to the lows we experienced, go up to the high we experienced over here. That's 31,829, 31,000. Okay. Go to low, add it on there like that, find that low point. And then from here, go over to the weekly daily chart. Did we get this precise enough? Let's go for a little bit more precision here just because we can. and that's the lowest point right there. All right. We got a little bit. See how I was trying to hold this, and we started to. Oh yeah, we started to have those cracks right there. We're holding it right now. The next level supports 40,191, also 40,222. That's that support level there. Oh, this is Bitcoin dollar. So guys, this is going to be a little bit different. It's not Bitcoin Tether. So Bitcoin Tether is 40,222. Bitcoin USD is going to be 40,132. Support level for this one for today is like 40,000, but you know, if you climb back up here 40,000 the next few days, it's gradually moving up. But one of the things that you can do with these is you can actually go over to the settings, and at the bottom it's going to see this style right here. We're in a modified shift. That's normally where I stick mine at, but there's the original. Again, we're at a level of support. Shift, we're not even talking about it, and then inside. So depending on what you're looking at, you can adjust these. All of these are relevant. All of them are relevant. It just kind of depends on what you need them for. Now, that's a longer term one. If you wanted to go something more short term. Ooh, short term's a little bit more tricky, isn't it? Because we really don't have a bottom right now. Maybe from here to here to here. Here to here. All of a sudden this doesn't work out too well, right? Let's go to modded shift. Inside, oh, even inside is not going to do anything. Shift a little bit there. 40,000, 41,000 basically for today. That one's not also any good. Let's try one last one. Support level here, 40,500. Original, 40,000 basically. Modded shift, 40,007. Inside, oh, let's not even talk about that one. Yeah, Pitchfork is usually my favorite, but again, most of these things are grand scale type of indicators. Maybe it's because I like to play a lot of war games. Oh, we broke down again. See, it's just not working out. It's just not working out. Those bears are coming in here and they're grinding us down. All right, we'll hold it the 1 minute. Let me put the Flux Algo price action concepts back in here. Ooh, Bitcoin, what you doing? And we got the support level down here. Again, Bitcoin's at about 3.6%. It's not terrible. ADA is down 5. Doge is down only 3. AMP is down 6. Ape is down 10. Arbitrum is down 8. AVAX is down 8. Kind of going off of what we talked about at the beginning of the stream. If altcoins are definitely going to feel a lot more pain with this. See, they're trying though. See, bulls keep on coming back in here. They're definitely trying at this point. It's just, it's a little rough here, guys. It's a little rough. We're still breaking down here, making new lows in the weekly charts, which is not a good sign. There we go. Why is it made the same as halving of Bitcoin? It's because we did a little. It's okay. The crypto markets changed drastically from the last few times we've had these bull markets. Institutional investors are getting in. There's just a lot more money flushing in there, and the economy is a little bit different right now than it was back in 2021, where everybody was getting free money from the government. Now, I think Bitcoin will still find a way to go up after the halving and stuff like that, but Bitcoin is still. It's still, the economy still matters. The way the financial institutions and markets are going still matters. Bitcoin isn't as decentralized as it once was. The exchanges aren't as decentralized as they once were. It's not as easy for people to pump and dump it and things of that nature. They can still do it to a good degree, but not the same way they were able to before and have those larger moves. Dude, this 1 second channel bet, look at this. We tried to bounce off of it. Are we going to flush down again? That's basically what we're watching, but we're watching a support level try to hold, and you're seeing a small wall, and it, that wall is just kind of building up right now. Let's see if which side wins here. We can just go down to that. There we go. This is not really something that's massive happening. It's just something that you can see it happening, right? See how that first breakout led to the second breakout? And we're basically just waiting to see if it keeps on going. Maybe back up to the smaller order block. And yes, order blocks matter even on second charts. But basically just kind of waiting to see another high. All of a sudden back to support. Boom. It's kind of fun. Okay, so now you go back over to the minute chart and you see what's happening now. We're trying to have a small change of character on the 1 minute chart. From there, you're going to see scalpers pump it back up here. And then from here, that's where we probably start coming back down again. That's if we actually have the change of character there. But, like, you know, boop, 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 boop. Sorry for the weird noise, but that's basically how it might go. That's pretty good timing for that fib circle. Yeah, I enjoy fib circles. I don't use them all too much because normally you're going to have a layout on TradingView that will actually just be for fib circles, GAN boxes, GAN fans, pitchforks, and stuff like that, because it takes up so much space. And frankly, I feel like there's a stigma against, oh, and we broke down. Oh no, we didn't break down yet. We're back at support. Now we broke down. We tried. But there's a stigma about using too much technical analysis. How do I say it? Like, you'll often see a bunch of people on Twitter say technical analysis, or day traders, or YouTube streamers, charts be like this, and it's just a whole bunch of like stuff all over the screen. And then people will say, oh yeah, technical analysis isn't real. These people don't know what they're doing. But it's just about keeping your work organized. Like Bitcoin, it's actually kind of hard, I would say, to add Fibonacci circles, because you saw how to do those two rectangle stuff. It's much more complicated. GAN fan, GAN boxes, it's much more difficult. So like when you see that I had that, when I was adjusting my GAN box or GAN square, I had to go up to a number like 500 for my ratio, which is absolutely insane. And right now Bitcoin's coming back down. We're still coming back down right now, heading for that next level of support here. 5 minute chart, see how we're flushing back down. We tried to hold, and it just didn't really work out in our favor. Back to the second chart very fast. But if you were to do it on a, and again, they're trying again. Change the character right there. Oh, didn't close above it. We'll see. There's the change of character. Now this is a 1 second change of character, so just bear with me, right? It's not going to be all too important. Well, actually, let's wait and see. We'll have it pump up to the order block, because that's technically where a scalper would end up selling. But the way this is going, a scalper might have exited out because it's not actually moving that fast. Yeah, it's not moving fast enough for a scalper to be excited about it at all. This is why, like, scalping, it's really fun, but you're in and out, and you don't even wait for your stop loss to hit, because there is technically no stop loss here. But anyway, it's much easier to add these order blocks and things on. See, look at that. See, a scalper might take that position, but they have to get out really fast. Otherwise, it's not going to be good. You guys have probably seen YouTubers that do those really fast trades. It's really cool to watch them, but the anxiety level is crazy, and you have to have hotkeys installed onto your exchanges to make sure you know what you're buying. Like, buy 500 now, buy buy $500 worth of Bitcoin with a 2x leverage or 10x leverage or whatever. Sell now. You know that you have to have all those hotkeys on your computer or built into the exchange. Sorry, but going back to stocks, it's much easier to do all that data on the stock market than it is to do it in the crypto market, because the logs are kind of that crazy. Like, if you wanted to do that to the SPY right here, let's go back to the 2008 financial crisis. Just adding on a GAN square onto this one, can we get 180 in here? We can barely get 180 in here. Let's pop up to 270. Okay, but you remember, the Bitcoin ratio was 500. This ratio is 2.96. Now, right now, I'm going to probably peak this up to what would I want to do this one for? For now, let's just pop it up to 5. I want to pop it up a little bit higher. This is more grand scale, like I said before. 3 might have worked as well, but I don't want to deal with working with 3. turn log off here. All right. Woo. Come back up. There is room for improvement here, but once you start adding these GAN angles on, see, oh no, we're in a large consolidation zone right now. Really, we're not worried until it breaks down below 4.8, but you know, even going back down to 4.8 would be pretty disastrous, wouldn't it? Yeah, we're not in too bad of a zone right now. That means I might have to change this back down to 3 instead of 2.96. Yeah, I mean, we just broke out. It's actually okay. But that's why I thought we might have more room to go up, but you know, with inflation, we might just grind back down. But again, it's not like we're breaking back down below the support levels from 409. No, we're just maybe grinding back down here. But anyway, back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's, look at that Bitcoin monthly chart, not looking so hot. Did we manage to hold? No, we're still flushing. Whew, Bitcoin's on a roll down. Hey Ellie, I bought so many altcoins yesterday in spot. I mean, as long as you have a plan going into it, I think you're fine. Like it's okay to still be dollar cost averaging yesterday or today, the things like that. I don't think it's going to be the worst thing in the world. But spot exchanges don't really have stop losses for spot on exchanges, right? So I think it just makes it a little bit more difficult. NA around Earth, this is very crazy. Why the heck is it going on? Why Dapagu? I don't know what that means, sorry. Basically we're just, how do I say this in like the simplest way? The technical analysis has been telling us this has been going to happen for quite a bit of time, but we've been having hope because of what was happening during the spot Bitcoin ETF and stuff. We're just having a pretty, not a terrible sell-off, just a pretty normal standard sell-off when it comes to Bitcoin. It may lead us downward over the next couple weeks, but it's nothing too crazy, I would say. Basically, everybody's just taking a little bit of a breather, taking some of their money. If you want to get more into some of the fundamental reasons of this, the dollar index is definitely having a move up higher over the past week or so, ever since we had higher than expected inflation data. You add on top of that some of the issues going on around the world. It's definitely pumping the dollar index up, and that's going to be a worrisome sign for Bitcoin and the stock market as well. The stock market, though, is up all the, you know, Dow Jones is up, NASDAQ is up, SPY is up. I think they will eventually start coming back down as well, but their technicals are not bearish, unlike Bitcoin, which has all the technicals being bearish at this point in time. 12 billion liquidation at 40K. We will hit them tonight. I mean, they're definitely going to try because we have that support level actually right above that, the 40,222 level for the Bitcoin. Actually, this reminds me. So remember, we just talked about this. The support level for the Bitcoin tether prices is going to be 40,222, but on the Bitcoin to US dollar charts, it's actually going to be like 40,138. So it is going to be pretty close. You're going to see an attempt to really hit a crash there. Right now, Bitcoin is not even trying to slow down. We've been like having these moments where maybe we're like going sideways, but we're still going down, down, down as we kind of have these sideways moves here, making new lows for the day, new lows for the day, new lows for the day. I mean, but we're trying. You can see right now, even right now, we're trying. See how they're trying to hold that up a little bit? Back to the second chart. Back up a little bit. Right? It's trying to hold on a little bit, but oosh. It's just that whenever we make these little short-term moves, what are you doing? I have a blanket on my legs because I forgot to turn on my heater, and he just like sat down in between my legs and maybe like bow my legs out. Oh, we just broke down below that one too. Yeah, it's a toughie, guys. It's definitely not the funnest days to be in the market. But again, this is why we've been talking about this for like what, a week and a half, 2 weeks now, just because we saw things starting to teeter a little bit. But I think up until the spot Bitcoin ETF, we thought that the market was going to be there's going to be a large pump after it. The way it was rolled out with the hack and then the denial of the hack, or like the saying it was the way the SEC lied about the hack and stuff like that, then finally having the decision, it really killed a lot of the momentum. I'm not saying the SEC did it on purpose, but it definitely, they did it it was announced in a way that really didn't lead to much of a large move at all. And when we don't have those large moves, those stagnant neutral signals gradually continue to turn more and more bearish, and that's what we saw. Remember, now that we have hindsight to kind of guide us here, the sell signal that we got was back over here. All right, sell signal. Now we're definitely lower, but it took a little bit of time for us to really get the meat of the profit. I didn't take any shorts here because I'd been burned on shorts before. We crashed back down, then all of a sudden a few days later we're chugging and chugging and chugging. Now all of a sudden we're really starting to see that slowdown there, where the weekly chart, where it was very bullish before, going throughout all of these, it was still bullish right here. Remember, crash, it was still bullish. You saw the signs of bearish move, but still bullish. 2 out of 3 basically. Oh, 3 out of 3 actually until that next week, and we kept on moving up because of spot Bitcoin ETF. Now we're bearish on the weekly charts, and this is bullish, so mixed. But over the next few weeks, if we don't find a way to stay above the 40,000 level and bounce back up, you're more likely than not going to see this actually going to bearish as well. That would mean the momentum is most likely going to carry us more to the downward side. That's what we're seeing right now. But the daily's been bearish for a while. The 4-hour just turned bearish last right here. We'll see if that continues. It's very hard to go after a crash like that because we've been consolidating for so long. The last sell signal on here was there was a few. Where did they all mix? Oh, the RSI never got bullish over here, so never mind. So RSI got bearish right here. Took that over. Is that? I think that's right there. And this one was right here. So basically everything aligned right there. So bearish, bearish, bearish. On top of that, we have a change of character right here. I know it says it happened right here, but honestly right here is closing down below any of that type of stuff. So you could have opened one up here without the change of character, or you could have waited right here. Regardless, you're still looking at some profit, but it's just they're not the trades that I would typically be doing, just because, again, the weekly charts were still kind of bullish, and we've been in this predicament before where we have these crashes, and what happens? Boom, we're still going up. Boop, still going up. Bloop, still going up. All right, so we'll see. Might just go bloop and still go up. We did it right here, but we did not go back up. We just went sideways. There was a wall right there. We were unable to break it. I tried once to do a trade with you guys here. I was like, okay, I'll see where it goes. It did not happen. So I just, okay, I'll wait a little bit. And right now, that's all I've been doing is just kind of waiting. Usually when you make a lot of money on this upswing, you don't want to lose it just trying to trade right here, Nobody likes to lose money, and I'm not the best at trading in this type of environment, which is why I'm saying, all right, here are the support levels. If you want to buy, go for it. I'm going to wait for some more consolidation, then I'm going to wait for a breakout, then I'll snatch along when the momentum is on my side. But right now, I'm not going against the momentum. It's just not in my nature here, unless I'm trying to have fun and just day trade with you guys or something like that. But that's a whole different ball. That's a whole different ball game right there, where I'm tossing out a little bit more of my normal technicals and be like, hey, let's just have some fun and make some trades here. All right, there we go. We got a small change of character right here. We have buy, buy, buy. This is where you might have some fun back up here to 41,285. Again, this is more of a scalper's trade, but it's there. For me, would I take it? Yeah, sure, but it's a scalping play. I don't have time for that. There we go. What do I think about the wars going on in Pakistan versus Iran? That was something I did not expect to wake up to this morning. It is what it is. I wonder if it's going to escalate. There's no single country anymore that can kind of keep the other countries from doing real stupid stuff. Now, like, think of Trump, Obama, Bush. I guess under Obama, Putin invaded Crimea, didn't he? Yeah, Trump, I guess, was like that little, like, hold on, this guy might actually nuke us if we do something stupid. There was a little bit of unhingedness to Trump that world leaders were like, oh, okay, let's not mess with this guy. For whatever reason, people aren't afraid of Joe Biden right now. I think people were moderately afraid of Obama, pretty extremely afraid of Trump, because Trump would just be like, "Come at me! I got nukes to launch it." He just like flat out say it. Probably not the best way to convey the message, but he did it anyway. He did it his style. Definitely unorthodox, if you ask me. But I think Obama, Bush, actually Bush would love to war. So what am I talking about? Obama loved to use drones. That was his thing. Trump liked to do flashy weapons like the Moab and stuff like that. That fear that, hey, if we do something, the world is, America is going to rally the world against us, and somehow that's going to cause a lot of damage to us. That is not really there right now. Like, we've already sanctioned Iran a lot. We're not friends with Pakistan. We've already sanctioned Russia to oblivion. And remember, I don't know if you guys keep track of what the news says over and over. Remember, Russia was supposed to lose this war like last year. Russia was supposed to have their economy collapse, and they would overthrow Putin. Remember, the military was going to do a coup against Putin. Like, it's too. We've thrown our haymakers at them, so to speak, but they're still standing. There's damage, but they're still standing, and they're kind of just like, okay, what you got now? And we're like, I don't know. So right now we're just basically like trying to pump up our fists by we're injecting steroids live in the middle of the match to our muscles or whatever, getting lots of water, basically like money to Ukraine, money to Israel, stuff like that. But it's just, we're not in a good spot right here as far as like world leader status. Heck, we even got like, I think it's South Africa's giving us sass, and we're like, South Africa? Like, why do we care about South Africa? Americans have a very entitled feeling about ourselves in the world, because so much of our tax dollars goes to help out everyone around the world. So we're like, we're paying for your food. We're paying for your gas. Like, but again, even if they tick us off, we're not going to turn that off. I think that's where people were maybe more afraid of Trump, and the world was a little bit more stable, because Trump would be like, if they hate us, why are we giving them money? That simple premise would make people scratch their heads a little bit, which I kind of agree with. But again, the world's overall just not in a very good spot, and it's not going to be in a good spot for a while. I don't think Pakistan's going to launch any nukes. I don't think so. But if America gives Pakistan a couple $1 billion, will they inflict some more damage? Yeah, I'm sure they will. That'd be a good little way to get a little proxy war going on. But basically, who knows where that money going into Pakistan is going to go? Because it's not going to go to the people's pockets. It's going to go to the government leaders and so forth. So it's a wild ride. I don't expect Pakistan-Iran issues to get any better. Yeah, I'm not even too familiar on their beef, to be quite frank, but you just know it's not the way the world thought. Who would have thought waking up we're going to have issues with Pakistan and Iran? It just doesn't make much sense here to me, right? 2K liquidation at 38,300. Guys, don't worry about that just yet until we start breaking down below 40,222. To me, that's really the big signal here. Right now, you're going to see lots of people, as I described earlier, taking multiple buy-ins at this point, and they're going to be waiting to see if Bitcoin has a bounce sometime later on today or going into tomorrow. That's the play that's happening right now. If those people lose out, you will know that Bitcoin went down to 40,222 and we broke down below that. That's where the chaos really starts, because then we start flushing. We have those moves over the next week that take us back down to that 20-week moving average. And then from there, you start to see us maybe moving down towards $37,000, $36,000, $38,000. I think we kind of settled around 37,000 being a good marker. But really, you'd be buying at 38, 37 and a half, 37. If it comes all the way down to 36, you'd be buying there, but I don't see us going down that low, at least this week. And so, you're going to have some fun with it. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit more testy. Right now, though, like I said, you have some of those buying signals coming in here. Buy, change of character there as well. You're expecting this to pump up a little bit more, but this is a scalper's trade. It's not necessarily something that every trader out there is doing. So by the time, it pumps up here, that trade may be over. Because again, if you trade enough, sometimes you'll just kind of see the Fibonacci levels in your eyes. But you can see we already hit the level. Now we're just aiming for right there to see if we can go a little bit higher. What is that? 41,250? Or that 42? So yeah, 41,250-ish. It'll be interesting to see if I could actually hit that level right now, but honestly, buying right here. See, I normally would have bought the change of character here from here, because then you know higher lows, we have a surge. But there's different ways. The easy way to trade this is to buy right here and hold and wait for the move to come up. I typically don't like those. Plus, we're in the middle of a larger crash, so you got to be careful about when you want to buy in here. But still, as long as you don't break down below this level, this larger move is, this smaller move is still on the go here. SPX looks bullish on the short term, but so does Zella. That's what makes it so interesting. Remember how I was just talking about the dollar index, and basically the way it's working right now is we're not thinking about more rate cuts, which adds a lot more bearishness to the market. Now we're just saying, hey, okay, we're still going to have rate cuts sometime this year, but maybe they're just getting pushed back. That's not enough to really cause a larger crash. But the market just has to grapple with that. Like, let me show you something here. Pull this off to the side here so you guys can watch that. Is this the right one? Okay, we'll come back to Bitcoin in a second. If you just look on CNBC's page, Power Lunch panel weighs on the state of government debt. Oh, that's kind of interesting. AI investment can cause more job cuts that cost big tech. More sellers are entering the housing market. Cities buy. CEO says more job cuts needed for 2024 to reach ambitious goals. Google cuts jobs in shift to AI. Deep fakes, I don't care about that. March rate could be too soon. Hatefully, I don't know. Slumber, is that Slumber or... I don't know what stock that is. Final trades, no. Here's what short seller, no. I'm trying to get those like big moves here, basically. 2024 contrarian ideas. Apple gets big upgrade from Bank of America. That's stupid. There's not really much. Grape hike campaign. That's a horrible thumbnail to have of a lady. Google job cuts. Speaker. Negative home equity. Single family housing starts fall 8.6% monthly in December. Oh. Less houses are being built. That's not good. Treasury yields are still in the driver's seat for the markets. This is the one I was thinking of right here. I didn't watch it, but I saw it earlier this morning. But the economy is still strong. That means that we're probably going to have a stronger dollar for a longer period of time because we're not really seeing that drop off come. Was there T-Pain on here for a second? Was that T-Pain? Oh, Will I Am. Never mind. What do I think about Bitcoin in 1 hour? I mean, I expect Bitcoin in 1 hour to be testing out supports or going up higher. It's too hard to say. Like right now, let me see. Let me go to the hourly chart. We're screaming bearish. We haven't even had an opportunity to have a breather just yet. The 15-minute chart is trying to turn bullish, but it hasn't just yet. There's an opportunity for it to come back up a little bit. The 5-minute chart is mixed, not even good right now. We're in a downtrend. So if you want to go off of that, we're going to probably keep on going down. If you're waiting for some type of larger move, you're going to have to wait for the consolidation to appear, and then you're going to have to wait for the momentum to shift. Once the momentum shifts, you can kind of hop on and ride the wave, so to speak. But that's going to be a short wave because the overall trend is still down on the larger time frames right now. So 15, you know, maybe if we manage to break back above this trade right here, which was this candle, 41,190. If we manage to somehow break above that in this 15-minute candle, which is definitely possible, then you could actually go long for about an hour and see where you go. It might bring you back up to 41,400, maybe up as far as 41,500 up here, like above this breakout level. I don't know, but that's kind of how you'd be playing it right now in this kind of consolidation zone, and you're just kind of waiting for these higher lows. You can see once we break down below the higher low, it gets a little bit more grimy. But if you buy right now and you want to see a resistance level, like right up here, towards the 41,600 level, you'd buy right now, next like 5 minutes basically, And then from there, you'd have your stop loss be probably 40,903. And then you just sit and wait. It's not the most fun thing to do in the world, but it's definitely something you could do. I don't have here, what's it at? 41,125. Let's do an imaginary buy right here. We'll just keep that number right there and we'll see where it goes. Again, you have a low point. The minute chart's fine. The 5-minute chart's about to be fine. It may go up a little bit higher. Your price target, though, is really... My price target would be 41,403. That'd pretty much be it. But we'll see. You know, it's always kind of fun to take these trades. I'm not doing my own money on this trade, though. Because I normally, don't like to scalp like this. My scalping is done kind of after the trade. So like we got the 15 screaming down. It's 10 minutes until this candle closes. So if we can hold this level for maybe another half an hour without breaking down and making a new low on the day, I'd buy in. And then I'd be looking for us to break above the 20 moving average on the 15-minute chart. And then from there, I would expect us to maybe go back up towards 42,000. And that's the way I'd like to play this. But there's not enough data for me to really buy in at this point. The way I like to go in, right? We've already had a few opportunities. We pop back up, and all of a sudden, bloop, pop back up a little bit. Bloop. You know, sorry for the weird bloop sounds, but a bloop is not a good sound you want to hear here. Right? But you can see we got some action happening right here. A little bit of resistance right here. We're basically seeing if bulls are going to hop in or not. Maybe bulls are waiting for another support level. Like we're not all the way back down here. And this is close to where I want to buy personally, but again, aggressive traders are going to be buying along this path, and they're going to be waiting for a larger move tomorrow in the rebound. I don't like to play the rebound like that until I see the price action or the chart really break above that 20-day moving average. Pakistan, Iran have stable relations, just a temporary rough patch. Yeah, I'll watch it a little bit later. I know there's usually some good channels I watch out there that kind of break it down. Most of them are European, though. Europeans, I think, have decent people on that have diverse viewpoints. America media feels a lot more propagandist than European media to me. Because, like, it's very, like, I don't know how to describe it. American media, they've kind of chosen a side and they've been more democratic leaning for such a long time that people just don't trust them. But it's gotten to a weird point where like they really don't criticize the Biden too much when I think they should, and it kind of hurts their credibility when they go after Trump for things that he's done that are stupid, right? Because for whatever reason, every president we have has done some stupid stuff, but I feel like that's just, you know, their advisors tell them one thing and then, you know, they just don't do it, or they do the complete opposite. There's a lot of competing interests in DC, of course, and not all those interests are very smart ones, of course. But anyway, I don't really trust much American media to get information about foreign affairs. They all seem to be related to I don't know, it's dumbed down a lot. It's not very good information, and I don't really trust it. If you go over to European or even Asian media sources, they talk about things a lot more frankly, which is confusing because I wish America would do that at the same time. Like, America's doing bad at this. I'm like, I can say America's doing bad at this, and I can say, so what? You know, but at least it's good just to say it, right? That way it's not like it's something hidden. Back over to the minute chart. They're really trying to push us back down now. We made a new low off of this one. We're in a new downtrend. Hopefully we can break out, though. Rally over, bring over 32K. 32K would be a blessing for a lot of people that have been wanting to buy, especially for those altcoins and things like that. We are getting a little squeeze on the liquidations, but I'm not sure if it will be enough. Doge is getting a little bounce back. I mean, yeah, what was it? Doge is down 3.25. It's not too bad compared to a lot of other coins, but it hasn't really gone up compared to a lot of other coins at the same time, right? I think Ethereum has been the largest disappointment because everybody was hyping it up last week, and I'm like, probably not the best time to be hyping up stuff. But again, this channel talks about like fundamental stuff beyond technical analysis. Although I have to say that, like, again, we've been talking about the Bitcoin technical analysis proving to be going down for a while here, so now we're just seeing what it looks like in action. You know, it's unfortunate, but at least we kind of had some warning, which is why some people well, I told people, most people had scaled off about like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, even before the spot Bitcoin ETF announcement came. And then when the announcement came and nothing happened, then they would scale it again, be like, okay, well, nothing happened. I should probably take off some more profit. Because a lot of the profit being taken off right now, or over the last week before this minor crash that we're seeing right now, was everybody that bought kind of October or pre-October, taking some good chunks of profit because they saw that, hey, we come up a lot, Bitcoin usually will come back down, and then from there we'll see some stuff. But I think everybody had high hopes for the spot Bitcoin ETF, but again, it's just the way it was rolled out that really caused a large amount of chaos because it messed up the vibe, basically. You know, we all know how excited everybody was about it. All right, 5-minute chart. We're trying to make a higher low, but man, this is just not looking good. We're trying, and nothing's happening. But again, if we can manage to hold this for a little bit longer, then you're going to see people looking to be more aggressive of buying in. But that fake position we took over here that I told you, I'm not putting my money behind that trade. 41,125. We're down about, I don't know, $100 or so, $125, $175 it looks like right now. So not the end of the world, but it's just kind of funny to watch this thing continue to come down and down and down, and we're trying to hold support. Like, let's go over here very fast. Let's add a horizontal ray. Let's hop over to the second chart and let's see if we actually break this ray. There we go. And we're still about $700 away from that larger support level. So, I mean, it's not, you definitely want to be more than $700 away from it, but we're not really there yet where you guys should be like, if we start closing down below that, that's going to be a bad sign. In fact, I think you're going to see a lot of people buy, and then we're going to be up for a while, and then you'll see us maybe eventually break down below it. But that weekly chart is not going to be looking very nice after what we have had happen here today. Hey, Pablo. Personally, I'm just incredibly ready to get that gap at 38-ish over with. 88K-ish, I see what you're saying. Sorry. I mean, I think a lot of people are. We've been kind of expecting this for like, what, a week and a half now? I think what really set this off was just the inflation data and the world events going on. And that's what kind of made it like, we should be coming down a little bit more. But, you know, technicals are there for a reason. So far, the technicals have been doing us pretty solid here. They've been making us some good money. So if you're shorting, you probably made some good money here. But again, there's a reason why I didn't short, and that's because the last few times we've been in these circumstances, Bitcoin has popped up quite aggressively afterwards. This time we did not pop up more aggressively. We actually came down even more after a very boring consolidation zone. So, you know, I missed out on some profit coming down, which I really regret. But at the same time, I just know the trade wasn't for me. We're trying to break out here. You see this little bit of a wall being created. I wonder if we're going to be able to. This is like a tiny. This is the second chart, by the way. So we're going to get squeezed. Oh, there we go. Mini squeeze. Get that out of there. Ooh, there's a nice little breakout. Again, that's basically what we just saw, but it's not too crazy, but it's always fun to watch these little things. Let's see. Hey, thanks, Gary. I'm always ready for ready. I think a lot of people are. Can I check out the Solana chart? Sure. Let me go over here very fast. Now, because Bitcoin's kind of bearish, everything's going to be bearish, but I'll give you some levels of support and things like that. Solana's down 8%. It's found a nice little bounce off here. That's the minute chart, so you can see 50-day moving average. Oh, yeah. It managed to break out above the 20, which was a huge thing. if Bitcoin would have held a little bit longer, you might have actually seen it spike all the way back up to 110 or not, 110 or so, excuse me. It still has some hope here. It has support level just around like Bitcoin does, around $89.86. Honestly, I'd just say around 90 bucks to just round it off. You do see a death cross coming in here unless it's able to bounce back up. If Bitcoin keeps on heading down, of course, this will head down. You'll probably see another level. You're probably going to see it come back down towards 86 bucks if it does manage to break down below 90 though, so just be aware of that. It's not the largest move down, but if we do come back down there, it is 8% move, but you know, it's down 9% today. It's kind of like a similar move that you're seeing here. Now, back over here, you can actually see that consolidation zone right there if it was going to be more bullish. The weekly charts are still bullish. You have the stochastic that's bearish and the RSI that's bearish, but again, just like Bitcoin, the MACD is still fairly bullish here. You do see the momentum is slipping a little bit, but everything has not turned back to being full-on bearish. On the daily charts, everything's been bearish for a hot minute here, ever since back over here at the beginning of January. That's kind of been leading it down more and more and more. The stochastic just turned bullish yesterday after that nice little pop that you had, but everything else was still bearish, so you're not really seeing too much of a move. In fact, actually, I think the RSI was actually bullish here for just today as well. Yeah, so but everything didn't really pop off well with it, so. You have a pretty decent order block all the way down here at $65. If you do see Bitcoin start to break down below 37, 38, there's a good chance you could see it come all the way back over here over the next few months or so, 2 months maybe. I doubt it'll be here by the end of next week or anything like that. But the way this has been moving up, it can definitely have these larger types of moves, because technically this is only 28%. That's like, you know, 4 days of being down 8%. 8, 16, 24. Yeah, about that. 7% or something like that. So don't be surprised if it starts heading back down a little bit more. Keep a close eye on the 50-day moving average, though. That's really going to be the concerning issue for most of you guys out there that are trading it. Did we hold? Oh, we're trying to hold so bad. Look at that. Trying to hold, trying to hold. Wow. I mean, we've been talking since about this time right here, and it's they're trying, of course, but we'll see if that manages to hold or not. Longer than that, I've been hearing about it for a while now. What about Pablo? 32 would be 60? Oh, I'm not entirely sure. I have not been keeping up with the conversation, sorry. Turn off the music, off the liquidation. I won't turn it off because there's too many people saying I'll turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. But basically, there are times when the music runs out and it's just kind of quiet. That might be the best time. And there we have another breakdown, just like that. And then look, there's another floor right there. And yeah. Okay, but basically over here to the minute chart. There you go. What I might be able to do, let me see on that chart. When the music runs out, I'll make sure only one of the liquidation charts is running music. Because I think you're probably not the only one to ask. That might be the best way to do it. One has music, one doesn't. But I'm not entirely sure which one it's going to be. It's probably just going to be the one that has the most views will have no music. The one that has less views will have music. To pump it up a little bit. Let me... Your channel. 5. This one will have music off, the live liquidation ones. The pump watch one will have music playing on it, probably. Yeah, because you can hear all the little dinglings and stuff like that going on right now. And you can see poor Bitcoin just crashing and falling off a cliff on this one, breaking down. That trend line still going on. Oh boy, yeah. That's showed it at 42.55. You got a pretty good entry price in there. There we go. And of course, Bitcoin's coming down again. Let's exit out of this failed position right here because that stop loss would have hit. And Bitcoin's still coming down. rough day, everybody. Just a rough day all around. Dollar cost averaging on a long now. To me, there are different ways to trade this. The way I trade cryptocurrencies is there's two different ways. So if you're looking for long-term trades, long-term holds, things like that, you could be buying right now because everything is, of course, on a very fat discount, like 30-40% over the last few weeks for a lot of altcoins out there. So you can feel really good about just buying in and getting that discount and then holding for a while. And if it keeps on going down, you just keep on buying more because you're going to be holding, of course, till Bitcoin hits all-time highs, altcoin season, where you're going to be taking the majority of your profit. If you guys are trying to do something of a shorter-term trade, which lasts for maybe a few hours to a few days, that's a different story. The way I typically trade is I don't aim for the very bottom of the price action. I don't try to catch the very bottom of a crash. I've gotten the bottom a few times, but it's very rare for me. It's like, well, it's not that rare, but it's rare. I would say it's rare. Basically, I will watch Bitcoin's price action. I will still see it coming back down, and I will say, okay, I'll wait for it to stabilize. It'll have a flush. It'll get down towards this major support level right there, that red line, and then I'll see if we actually hold it. If we manage to bounce off of it and we're consolidating for a few hours and everything looks okay, once I see the momentum shift on the oscillators down below on the 1 hour chart primarily, maybe even the 15-minute chart with that 20 moving average, I will do my first buy-in position. Usually it'll be a pretty decent sized one. I'll have my stop loss be at the recent crash low, whatever that low is that we have over the next few hours or maybe less than that. But once I see the momentum shift, I'll buy in there and I will ride that momentum up to a few levels of resistance, but it won't be anything crazy. Right now, if I'm buying at, let's say I buy at 40,500, I might be looking at 41,500 for $1,000 increase in Bitcoin's price. I will take that as my profit and I will just leave. And then, or if you guys want to be more aggressive, you can buy and then just scale out part of it at a level of resistance that you choose and scale out again and again and again. So if it does break above my level of resistance in my head, like 41,600, you can still be making more and more profit there. But typically, I will try to go with the momentum. Now, momentum is like there's a few different ways of thinking of momentum. Momentum is not just going up or down. Sometimes momentum is just going sideways. If we're going down and momentum is shifted from down to sideways, that's good. That's consolidation. That means we have an opportunity for a reversal. Once we see momentum start to shift back up ever so slightly, that's when you're like, fish on, so to speak, right? I don't know if any of you guys know fishing, but it's where you, and then you're good to go. But it's hard to get those. Here's an example of when it didn't work. Fish on, nothing happened. I actually took this trade and nothing happened. I was pretty disappointed with it. I didn't lose too much money because my stop loss was right there, but again, it sucked. It really sucked. Most of the time when we do this, it actually works out pretty well. So let's go over here. See? Fish on. Boop. That's what I'm looking for. But this is spot Bitcoin ETF news and things like that. We had a different mindset. Again, fish on, it went up. It did not break down below the stop loss, and you're good to go. Normally, that's what we have. But I would say it doesn't work all the time. It just works a good amount of the time. Do we have another crash example here? May not look like a large move, but Bitcoin did fall down about a cool 5%, 2,000 bucks. Fish on, there you go. Right, sorry, I don't know why I keep on saying fish on. I've been thinking about going fishing recently. But it does work quite a bit. But you gotta wait for that. And you see how I'm not catching at the bottom like this or like this. I'm catching it like way over here after it's been consolidating for a while because I want to buy and I want to watch it go up pretty fast. I don't want to buy and watch it go sideways. It doesn't always work. Like I said, here's a prime example. Did not work. and I was very disappointed about it. But you know what? The daily charts have shifted. All the other ones, the weekly charts are bullish, the daily charts are bullish. Now the daily charts are bearish, the weekly charts are about to turn pretty much bearish, and now it's kind of more difficult for me to even want to do that here. But I'm still going to do it just because I want to see how the strategy works out. But it will not be a lot of money behind this trade, I tell you that now. But you can do that on the daily charts and stuff like that. Like you see, strike on, boom, it went up a little bit. Not a lot, but it went up. Fish on, excuse me, see, I'm already messing it up. But typically, it's much better on the hourly charts for me, the 4-hour charts, the daily charts, stuff like that. Because you have days and days of moves. When you're doing it with day trading, it's much more difficult. Like you even have these smaller ones right here, but those ones don't work. But again, you're still seeing us make no lows. We haven't actually had that time where we're flat. We're not making any new lows. That kind of like makes this a little bit different, different situation. See, we just made a new low. I'm not going to be going long, like we're about to have a buy signal here on the short term. Sure, you could take it, but it's going to be a scalp, and it's not really worth my time here. Hey, Alex D, excuse me. I know, right? I need to go fishing. I got some really expensive fishing equipment, but I just hardly ever use it during the winter because, of course, it's cold. But I go fly fishing, so it's a whole different ball game. But I really enjoy it. Hey, Mike, I just bought iBit. I don't know why Encase Fam can't access cold storage against. See, hey, AZTV. I mean, nice to see you again. You know. Whatever you think you need in order to keep your cryptocurrency safe and things like that, I think there's always going to be room for investment in that and just making sure that you have, you know, your crypto safe, honestly. What's the matter with you? Why are you so... He doesn't like me talking to you guys for so long. He's all like, hey, I'm here. Don't forget. Yeah. Here. There you go. You can see him trying to... Yeah, I took him outside for an hour today. I even put a video out about it, but I guess he was not having it, or I guess he just has too much energy. Don't bite my Twitter. This is nice. This is Columbia. I like my Columbia stuff, but Loki likes to chew up my clothes every now and again when he hasn't had enough playtime. He's pretty well trained, except for those times. Oh, sorry, I forget. I have my ashtray here from smoking a cigar last night. There we go. There you go. See, we're having a little bit of a pump now. And again, the buy signal on this came right here. You're in and you're out. Depends on how long you want to hold, but like a minute chart isn't, you know, you're only in there for a few minutes at the most. You're hitting a level of resistance right here. Right, little top right there. Trying to break out. From here, if we ever change a character, then we can shift up a little bit more, consolidate for maybe another 15 minutes or something, and then we kind of wait to see what happens. Wait to see what happens. But again, you know, we've been through this cycle a few times now, so everybody's gonna be a little more wary, and you're just trying to get the best price here if you're scalping in. Okay, there we are. Hey, Tops for Doge. Thanks, Mike, for being live during the big dip. Oh, no worries. I always try to. I know I don't stream as much as I used to. Like, I used to stream like twice a day and stuff like that. But now I just kind of stream in the afternoons or the evenings, if you will. But when there's a big event like this and I can see it, I'm like, oh yeah, might as well just hop on here. Because, you know, normally if I wasn't doing this, I'd be working on the course. Like, I have all of the stuff written out, but I still need to add it all into... I still need to add it all in here to PowerPoint form, which is going to take forever. But I think it'll be worth it. Plus, I think I'm gonna have like members are gonna get the. I think the way I'm gonna do it is members are gonna get the course for free, and then I'll have maybe everybody on the channel can get it for a discount for the first week or something. So the regulars that don't support the channel but they want to get the course, but you know they support by watching basically, not support by membership. They can get a fat discount off of it, maybe 75% off. And then after that first week or something, it'll go back to full price. But the course is going to be expensive. It's going to be like $500 or something. Mostly because it's going to be like a 50 to 70 hour full course of everything from what the stock market is, what the crypto market is, best exchanges, worst exchanges for cryptocurrency again, and stock market. A whole 30 hours. I don't know how long. It was a long time of technical analysis and just the way the trade momentum and stuff like that. All the different tools and stuff. So how to use a pitchfork, how to use a Gann fan, how to use a Fibonacci circle, everything, that I would probably put in there. It could even be some of the stuff in here like forecasting, Elliott waves, how to use TradingView properly. I probably won't go over TD Ameritrade or E-Trade and stuff like that, but I'll probably go over TradingView because I think a lot of people like to use TradingView. But there'll be a whole host of stuff I put in there, which is going to take a lot of time. Well, it's already taken a lot of time, hasn't it? And then, of course, everything from stop loss, price targets, how to actually pull out money to reinvest into other stuff, or how to pull out money for you to, how would I say, what's the best way to say it? Like, how to pull out money so you can actually spend the money on stuff you want to, deciding on how much money you want to pull out versus, should I just keep this money in my portfolio so it grows and grows and grows, versus how the economic world is going and things like that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that'll be in there, but I'm pretty excited for it. But again, I've been slow walking it for so long that I finally need to start charging it again. But now that I got all this stuff in, it's just more plugging it in, plug it in, which takes a lot of time because my brain does not like to work like normal people. ADHD sucks. Well, there's some good parts to it. I probably wouldn't be a good trader if I was didn't have ADHD, to be frank, because all the patterns and stuff I can see in my head. But it definitely makes it hard to hold a regular job. Even back when I was working for like $8 an hour, back when I was in college, it was I could not stay focused on anything. Hey, Daily Peachy, waiting on 35K. That'd be a good level as well. Get a nice low price. Get some nice cheap Bitcoin. Might break down right here though. Need to wait for confirmation. Yeah, basically, yeah. If I'm talking about buying right now, I would have to see us hold support, then consolidate, wait for all the momentum to shift to being positive, then I would actually end up buying. Right now, I see no reason to buy besides you're assuming that that's going to happen ahead of time, which is already a big assumption. And then you're trying to buy some right here, buy some right here, maybe buy some right here. It'll consolidate for a while, and then when it breaks out again, with all the momentum shifting, you buy again right here, and then you're looking to scale out right here, right there, and maybe up higher. To me, it's hard to really want to buy right now. I would say it's not a terrible idea if you wanted to go along with that, but the people that do these types of trades are definitely the more aggressive types, and they're probably using different volume information, looking at a lot more data than I am right now looking on TradingView. So, but again, if you zoom out a little bit, this is the weekly chart. You can see we haven't broken down. You can see we've been down here a few times before, and we still managed to break out and head a little bit higher. So you're looking at that and you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to buy. I'll have my support at 40,222. And of course, that means if you buy right now and you would hit your stop loss, you lost about 2%. With the 50x position, you're losing 100% of your investment, which means if you do a $1,000 trade, you're losing $1,000 basically. However, maybe I'm going a little bit too high with the leverage, but just bear with me here. Let's say we're just trying to go back into the middle of this zone over here. You're still looking at a ratio of like 2.3, 2.4, not bad, 4% profit. So that means if I'm 50x position, I lose 100%. 2%. Sorry. I'm thinking of a whole different number. That means I'd lose $2,000. Oh, my brain is definitely not working. But basically, the ratio's in your favor, so you're okay with the loss because the opportunity to make money is really good. For me, my buying position might actually be a little bit higher. So maybe my ratio is going to be a little bit off, or maybe I'm only going to be looking at making like 3%, 3.5%, or something like that. But I'll be in and out fast, and I don't have to really hope and wait and, you know, wait for something to happen. I'll be much more optimistic that when I actually buy and open a position, it'll just go up after I buy it. Right now, this does not look like, hey, we're about to go up afterwards. Look at that daily chart. Nothing about that looks like, oh yeah, we're going to bounce off and go straight to the moon. There's a death cross incoming. The last time the 20-day moving average crossed down below the 50-day, you come back over here. Right there. This was also after bad inflation data. You know, over here, that was not good. This one was kind of weird because it was during a crisis. This was during the Silicon Bank crisis. This is during the Fairdesk crisis. Not Fairdesk. Fairdesk is a sponsor of the channel. Sam Bankman-Fried FTX crisis. Right here is more normal. Come down. Here. This one wasn't too bad. But you saw the volatility going around here. This one wasn't good. This one, it was okay. I mean, it went down, of course, but it wasn't bad. This one, of course, wasn't too good. Now this is all, you know, all really old time ago. Not sure what caused this one, but this wasn't too bad. This was kind of in a bull market, but we had that big flush down first. That one wasn't too bad. Came down, but it wasn't terrible. Right, that one was really bad. I think that was COVID, though. Yeah, it's COVID. That one wasn't good. That one wasn't good. This one was actually okay. This was during some all-time high stuff, though. We're not at all-time highs with Bitcoin. Auto. There we go. But you can see we're consolidating. You see how the stochastic is bullish now on the 15. The RSI is bullish, and the MACD is going to turn bullish. So, I mean, there's an opportunity, I would say, to buy right now. If you wanted to do a day trade back up again to like 41,600. It's an aggressive trade. But there is an opportunity. There was a reason to the madness of buying at this point in time. But again, your stop loss would not be down here at 40,222. Your stop loss would be right here. All right. You see how we're this order block? See how we're bouncing above the 20 right here? The 15 is coming up a little bit closer. Here, let me... No, let me log in here. This is a 1 minute chart on Bitcoin, but just bear with me. Margin cost. Let's do a $500 position. Let's do a 20x long, going up to some high level over here that I don't care about. Let's open a long. It already moved above our long, which sucks. Do I want to wait for it? There we go. Okay. And let's just have a stop loss right here at 40,650, 40,680, 40. Let's just do 40,650. 40,650. That's an estimated loss of 29% with the 20x leverage position. Confirm. And let's just have our price target be... We haven't broken above this yet, so I probably should have waited for maybe a little bit more of a consolidation here, but 41,000, the top is over here on 635, 41,500. I did not buy at the opportune time, just so you guys know, but that's a return of 11%. That ratio sucks. If we're going to be holding till tomorrow, then let's go to 42,300. $146% profit. That's 44,000. I need 42,000. 49%. 42,300. $41,700. Yeah. I'll be cheap and I won't aim for a lot of profit here. I'll just aim for 41,700. 41,800. No, just go for 42,000. I'm overthinking this. That way the profit will be, the ratio will be a little bit better. The position's up $3.84. We'll come back to it. It's not the big deal. But I did not buy at the opportune time. I tell you that now. Normally try to wait for a little bit more of a dip over here. But again, that's a very small amount of money. If I lose money, it's going to be 129 bucks. It's not a lot. I'm not betting a lot on a move like this because I haven't seen anything like, again, the weekly is about to turn bearish. The daily is bearish. The 4 hour is bearish. The 2 hour is bearish. The 1 hour is bearish. The 15-minute is trying to turn positive. There's really, in my opinion, not much of a reason to go long here, which is why I made that stop loss be extremely close. But this is just, you know, if you have that aggressive mentality, this is what you're aiming for, and you're doing a bunch of assumptions to see where it goes there. I normally don't take this trade because to me this trade might work 70% of the time. Whereas if everything's going in the same direction, then the trade is more likely to work about 90% of the time. And that's where the money is made. But how do I say this in the nicest way for myself? Like, this strategy doesn't allow you to trade as much as you might like to. So when everything's good and hunky-dory, you're trading. But then when everything is kind of sideways or things are not going in, like everything's more mixed and a little offset, then you're not actually, you're not going to be making money trades during that time, which really does suck. But then you try to find another place. Like right now with the crypto market, I'm more likely to hop over to the stock market. The stock market's still looking pretty bullish. Crypto market's much more neutral to bearish at this point. I still add the neutral in there beforehand because of course we still haven't broken down below the 40,222 level. And that's what I meant by I haven't bought at the opportune time. But what do you call, like here, you go over to something like I don't want oil plays, Microsoft. You see how the weekly is still bullish. The stochastic is more neutral, but it's overbought territory, but it's still bullish as of this week. You have the RSI still being bullish. In fact, Microsoft actually had a pump up today, which is a little interesting. It's a little bit of action here. But you see how you had this buy signal where everything was screaming buy right here? You hop on board that everything, like the weekly is bullish, the daily is bullish, the 4 hour is probably bullish at this time. Yeah, the 4 hour turned bullish way over here. You grab onto that because the 4 hour is still okay as long as everything's still going good. Look at that. You buy and I'm sorry, I'm making a lot of stupid sounds today. I'm sorry. But you see how the momentum carries on because everything is pointing up. That's the way I like to trade. But what happens when everything isn't pointing up? You don't trade. Like for instance, maybe an IBM. How's this been doing? No, this has been going up for a while too. Yeah. You can even see on the weekly chart we had the buy signal coming right here, right after dividends week. Good. Everything was bullish since here. Look at that. Boop. Looking fine. You can't try to go bearish. There's a bearish move right here. It went up a little bit, then it went down, but see how that stop loss? See how the stop loss would have gotten hit right here? One of the reasons why is, you go back to the weekly chart, the weekly was still bullish, still bullish, still bullish. And that's the pain here. Now it did end up working up, but what happened? It still, the weekly still kind of carried it up. So I typically wouldn't have made that trade. Now, I might have been upset if even if it didn't hit my stop loss, whatever, it actually just went down. I still would have like not taken the trade. Just, you know, here's weekly is down, weekly is down, weekly is down. Let's go over here. This is a chart that normally goes sideways. That's why I'm pointing it out. See how that moved from like 2017 to 2023? What is with me making sound effects today? But again, let's go back over to the daily chart. Okay, now we have to look for all the downward signals coming afterwards. We have a change of character. We have a move down that says right here, down, down. Everything's good. And you see how it carried on and we went down lower and lower. There was an earnings play here, which would have made it actually a little bit more tricky than you guys might want to have had. But again, your stop loss would have been right here. If you're shorting, you're not doing options. There's a difference there. Options, you're much more likely to look at the 4-hour charts as well as the daily charts. But basically, daily right here, you can see how it basically went down with the weekly charts going along, and it went down for quite a bit of time until we started to have those buy signals over here, and things started to go up a little bit. But ultimately, it still kept going down because the weekly chart hadn't turned back over yet. Go to the 4-hour chart. This is the last one, I promise. Four-hour chart right here, sell signal, went down right after, consolidation for a few days, then we went down even more. So this is all 23, wait, so let's see, 18th, 26. It's about, you know, a couple weeks. You're looking at some nice profits there if you do short for a couple weeks. Earnings played a role in this though, which makes it a little bit more difficult. Then you see the buy signals come back along here, and guess what? The overall trend is still down, but we went up a little bit. But then if you stayed too long, right, boop, you got kind of like, you got hit pretty hard. If you guys want to see more of my tutorials and stuff like that, I think the best ones I have are probably if you go over to YouTube. This is like for after the stream or even now, you know, since Bitcoin's kind of slowing down on the downward move. You go over here to Smart Money. If you go over to Smart Money Concepts Lux Algo, search for this and click on this video right here. Smart Money Concepts Lux Algo tutorial and guide. I think on this video of mine, oh geez, ads. I can't show you guys ads. Let me hide that. Give me a couple seconds. Oop, there you go. I think by the end of this, I actually show you guys how I have my chart set up. I do not add the RSI onto this position, but you guys can if you want to. Or, oh snap, I should have went over to the other one. I think if you actually search the same thing, I have a few videos that are ranked up kind of high on this one. Because a lot of you guys like Smart Money Concepts from Lux Algo because it's free. Yeah, right there. There's this one right here that's 33 minutes. There's this one that's 38 minutes, which is basically this video plus adding on my setup for what I have now. This is probably the best one to go to. Or I think there's like one more down here somewhere, but I forget where it's at. This one or this one. Yeah, I got a few ranked for Smart Money Concepts. I've been doing videos for a while. Oh, I know I didn't get the best price, but again, we'll wait and see what happens here if we get stopped out or not. Let's see if we can get a higher low here and build back off. If not, it's okay. It was a fun trade. Oh, I don't actually have the page open anymore, but I assume it's down like 50 bucks or something like that right now, maybe even 70 bucks. Hi, Michael. Ever hear of Hive Mapper? I have not heard of Hive Mapper. What is it? And hey, Pablo, ADHD with no meds is a true challenge too. Seems like you have done well with it so far. I tried to go on medications, but I think there's two different types of ADHD people out there. There are those who had good health insurance growing up and they were able to go to the doctor and they were able to get medication. So their personality developed without having ADHD as a portion of their lives. Then you got people like me who grew up in the ghetto, really rough circumstances, not the best circumstances, and the prescriptions were too expensive and stuff like that. So you kind of grew up with ADHD being part of your personality. And if you try to introduce meds later on in life, your personality takes a wild swing. That's what happened to me, so I kind of just stopped it. I tried it actually a little bit last year, and I felt motivated to do stuff, but I felt like I was just, I don't know, it felt off. It felt like I wasn't me, so I just kind of stopped. But I think as long as if you have ADHD, as long as you kind of figure out a system for you, I think you're fine. Like, I've been stressed out the last few weeks. So yesterday, I think over the last 2 days, I played like maybe like 5 to 8 hours worth of video games, and I like cooled myself back off, and I went back to work. Because again, I don't really have to do YouTube, but I truly enjoy it just because it's nice. And if I wasn't doing YouTube, I probably wouldn't be doing all too much with my life. I'd be doing a few trades here and there, and then just kind of Nothing. I feel like I like the networking side of YouTube and stuff like that, and you know, going out and having fun, talking to people. I'll be going to a Seattle event, I think. I think Tuesday, something like that. And I'll be going up there to hang out with some people in the crypto community around Seattle, which would be kind of nice. I haven't seen them for a hot minute. I was going to go to the Christmas party or the holiday party, but I totally skipped it because I didn't want to go up to Seattle. Seattle's not necessarily far, but it's just like there's so much preparation for me going up into Seattle, making sure I run Loki very hard so he's very tired. So he's like, you know, he doesn't want to play by himself or something, you know, when I'm gone. Got to make sure I get the train times. Then I have to pay for an Uber. I don't like to take the city bus back because, you know, what, like $400 necklace, $600 pendant because it has a little ruby to remind me of my mom. $300 ring, $550 ring. Usually if I'm wearing some sunglasses up there, those are a few $100 from Ray-Ban or Burberry or something like that. You know, it's getting a little bit more risky to have money these days. And I don't even consider myself rich, right? I think maybe I'm upper middle class, you know, not like I'm necessarily like in the upper class. I scoffed at that. But what do you call it? It's just a chore to go up there, but I think it's going to be worth it. Sometimes if I'm lucky, I can get a carpool back down, or I've even carpooled with people up there before, but I just, honestly, I hate driving in the city, and Seattle is definitely a place where I hate to drive. Too much chaos, too many homeless people walking across the street. Like, they don't give a care in the world about walking across the street during a green light. It scares the shit out of me because, like, I don't want to, like, it's pouring down rain these days. I don't want to, like, slam on my brakes and still hit the guy. That takes so much time out of your day, and, you know, maybe you feel bad about the homeless guy. I would not if they're just walking across the street during a green light. But what do you call it? If it wasn't a green light, then of course I'd feel bad about it. But yeah. Oh, hey, D's. Even if Bitcoin can go around 35 to 41K area, I would buy again because long-term Bitcoin is just up. Long-term holders, you guys are loving this price action right now. You really are. I know it's annoying at the moment for a lot of people out there because they're watching their portfolios go down, but at the same time, you know, I'm not too concerned. Like, excuse me, let me go to my main Fairdesk account. Remember, I've been dollar cost averaging for a while now, I would say. Now I did mess up a while ago. I remember I started doing this in August. In October. But of course, Loki made me close on my positions, which was annoying. And I've been buying back in slowly. And I think it was actually probably better. Only because I could show you guys that it's not like you just dollar cost average and your prices go up. A lot of times you dollar cost average and your prices go down. So I thought that was fun. But basically you go over here. My positions are down $550. I have an available balance in order to trade about $1,000 right now in here. But you can see front is the only thing still up, and it's barely up. OGN is up a little bit. Everything else is pretty much down for the moment, okay? That's perfectly fine. That's what dollar cost averaging is. And on days like this, you know, I might add another $100 to Bitcoin, $100 to a lot of these positions here. I'm not going to do that because my technicals would say that, hey, we're probably going to have a better opportunity to buy in the next few days. And I'm waiting to see if that opportunity arises. You know, if we have a green candle tomorrow, that would be a good enough reason for me maybe to actually start buying up some of these altcoins, just a tad. But you know, I just because I have $1,000 to invest doesn't mean I have to invest it right now. I add about $500 into this account every week. Sometimes it's $400, sometimes it's $300. It's really how much extra money do I have to invest. Like, I'm not gonna go overboard with this with my own money, so just to let you guys know. But basically, and you know, I also get these little bonuses, which is pretty nice. But basically here, the way I view it is, you see how there's $1,000 in there? I normally would invest $500. I didn't invest anything last week because I didn't think I thought we were gonna go down lower. So, you know, but it's hard though, because remember, last week I was just like all over the place. I was like, okay, I can see how we could spike up again because we've been doing that for a while, but the technicals were also bearish, so I just can't do it. And now I'm kind of happy I didn't do it, but you guys know me over the last few days. I was just like, I hate this because there's nothing happening. There's no reason for me to trade. And like I told you guys before, stock market, sure, I can be trading right now, but normally no. Like for the crypto market, there's no big reason to trade right here because we've been bearish on the daily for quite a bit of time. Hey Pablo, I was diagnosed when I was 43 and tried meds for a year, hated it. It's not the best. It really is. And I tried maybe 4 different types. I didn't even know there was 4 types. I just thought it was I don't remember what the main one's called, Adderall, but I tried a few different types and I just didn't like it. I mean, I had a shit ton of pills built up too because I wasn't taking them as much as I was supposed to towards the end. And I was like, yeah, I'll be fine without them. You have to adjust to it though. It's definitely an adjustment. It's definitely an adjustment. Hey Tattoo Destroyer, I just got a pair of the Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarers. They are nice. I thought about getting them a lot. I've thought about it. I just couldn't pull the trigger on them because I thought maybe I would use them for YouTube or something. But then I realized how much equipment I already have and how I just don't need more equipment. But I think for a lot of people out there, they're really good glasses. And if I didn't have so many myself already, like I would have probably gotten it. Like I have like 5 pairs of sunglasses and they all cost like $200 to $400, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. In the summer, I'll pull out more of my glasses and I'll start wearing them more often. But like, there are a lot of content creators out there that wear sunglasses, like Tom Crown, a good friend of mine. I made a joke with him one time saying I'm gonna try to wear sunglasses one day, but I tried. But you guys never saw it really because my sunglasses don't allow me to look at my monitors because the way my monitors work with the sunglasses, it's all just black, and if I have to tilt it in order to see what's going on. So you guys would have me like this the entire time looking at my charts. Or I thought of a way, I got some pretty nice monitors down here. I know you guys can't see them, but basically I can tilt my monitors and do a whole bunch of fancy stuff with them. So I was like, oh, maybe I can just tilt my monitor like, 30 degrees or 40 degrees and see if it works. But I was like, that's too much work to have sunglasses on a stream. I think I've been trying to get more flashy lately over the last year. Flashy to me is not probably what you might describe as flashy. It just means popping a little bit more. To me, wearing this cream shirt with a little bit of orange, the orange is flashy to me. I'm wearing a vest on top of something is flashy to me. The ring, flashy. These rings, flashy. This pendant, flashy, even though it wasn't really bought for flashy purchase, it's more for personal. But the chain itself, more flashy for me. So what I got this past year is they was having a sale at Sunglasses Hut, and I was buying my sister some sunglasses because she didn't own any nice ones for college. I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna go to college, you might as well have your nice sunglasses so you can fit the part of being a college person or whatever. And so while they were there, I saw some Versace glasses, and I have always made fun of Versace glasses, but I was like, you know what? I don't have any gold sunglasses, so I should probably buy these. And so I found a really good deal. They were like 60% off or something like that, which is the only reason I bought them. And I got myself some Versace sunglasses. I wore them while I'm in Vegas. And it was fun. Mostly because you guys know when I go to Vegas, I usually only get driven around by Suburbans and Lincoln Navigators because I truly enjoy it. And I have their number, so it's not like they would Uber like you normally would do. Although I guess maybe every now and again I take an Uber. But if you have a person that you have their card and you have their contact info, if you call them for a ride, basically, they can pick you up in front of the hotel, and Uber drivers in Vegas are not allowed to. So it just makes the whole process of getting out of the hotel and back to the hotel very nice, very easy. And you also kind of feel good about yourself. I don't often spend my money in a way that's very out there, basically, so it's nice to just it's nice to spend your money in a way that you kind of feel like, this is kind of like, reward yourself for spending all this time grinding and looking at charts, things like that. Hey Colton, I've been snowed in for the last 4 days, out of food, looking for charts all day has got me crazy. Dude, you might want to put your snow boots on and go walking out in the snow for a little bit. Check on your neighbors to see how they are. I got myself a lot of food here stacked up. I mean, heck, typically for me, what I do, you know, for my emergencies, this may not apply to you, but basically I have a grill in the backyard. I have your typical gas grill that I don't honestly use all too much, but then I have your cheap Walmart $30-$40 grill, the little pot thing. And I have some charcoal kind of already sitting around, ready to go with some, what is it? Hickory smoked wood, right? So, in a pinch, you can light up the coals, add some wood on there, a little bit. You don't really need a whole bunch of wood, and then you let the charcoal kind of go out for the most part. You know, you let it burn, and it's all the hot coals. Make some simple bread, toss it on there, put a little bit of cheese inside of it, and you're really good to go. I've only had to do that a few times. I learned how to do that, I think, when I was like in middle school or something like that, definitely a long time ago. But if you're ever in a pinch, just make some bread and cheese. It fills you up a lot more than you would think. If you have a can of soup or something like that, you could always literally just put a pot on the coals as well, and it'll heat up the soup really nice. Soup, bread, cheese. It doesn't seem like a lot, I know, and you know, hopefully your water still works. Otherwise, you can go pick up some snow from that outside, probably try to boil it or something. But for the water aside, it's a pretty simple meal, but it actually fills you up, and it helps you out. And you can do that a few times a day if you really have to. But the bread's not something that's very hard to make. The soup is just in a can, of course. And then all you got to do is have a lighter for the coals. And you don't necessarily have to do lighter fluid if you don't want to. A lot of coals have like self-lighting coals these days and stuff like that, but it's a nice little emergency thing to have. I swear, I haven't had the issue for a long time, but I think a few years ago I did it just because I was like, damn, I don't really want to have any of this food in my pantry. It was all kind of like, it's food you'd have to prepare, and I had no power, so I was like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do there. Let's just do what I can to make some bread, coals. I think I heated up some water on the fire, so I added some yeast to it to make it a fancier bread, but basically, you can toss dough right on the coals. It'll cook it right up, or you can bury it in the coals if you want to on the side. Whatever, it all works out, but it's a very nice way. I've seen lots of the newer camping channels actually do this as well. Maybe different ways, I think, probably a little bit more snazzier ways, because, you know, you're out hiking, it looks a lot cooler. If you're at a house and you're kind of like freezing, you're just like, oh, okay, this one's kind of sad, but it still tastes really good. The food tastes that much better because you are snowed in. Hey, Nicholas, happy to see you back. Let me know if you have any questions. And hey, Deez, you don't need sunglasses to be cool. Oh, yeah, for sure. But that's just why it was so much fun to get the Versace ones. It was so much fun. I like designer sunglasses mostly because I like the metal frames that they have. Even these glasses that I have, these glasses are actually really old. They suck quite a bit. But I didn't want to wear contacts this morning, and I broke my newer glasses. So I've been using these old ones. These old ones they thoroughly need to be washed, it looks like. But basically, I've had these things for like a decade, and they still work just as good as they did back then, which is crazy. But those nicer sunglasses, I enjoy them. It's just nice. They're good quality. They work very well. Actually, they work very well when I go fishing as well. But I think you can get cheaper ones, you know, than the sunglasses ones, the Sunglass Hut ones. I think actually the main reason I get them from Sunglass Hut is because I can always go there and they clean the glasses for me, which I really do enjoy. Cleaning my glasses for me is just like such a nice little thing. Are we going to have a dead cat bounce here and do some backtesting? Right now on the 5-minute chart, you're seeing some consolidation. It's a little bit more consolidation that we've had over the past few hours. That's good. It's not really enough to make me excited to buy right now. I did do a buy because, in my opinion, if you were to buy right now, you would be more of an aggressive trader. And I was doing what an aggressive trader would be doing at this point in time, based off of the price action I saw from here to here. To me, that symbolizes a buy for an aggressive trader. With a stop loss, of course, that's right here. If you're an aggressive trader, you could be buying in right now. I typically am not that type of aggressive trader, so that I did the trade with a very small amount of my money, so I didn't have to really worry about losing 129 bucks or something like that if it did hit my stop loss. Now, typically, you're looking to break above that 20 moving average on the 15-minute chart first, but what I'm looking at now is the stochastic kind of getting a little bit choppy, but it hasn't really stayed above the line so far. The RSI is more bullish, the MACD is about to turn bullish, and so I can actually see a pump happening here, but we don't have those confirmations just yet. On top of that, the 1 hour chart is still very bearish. You're seeing it slow down, but even the MACD on the 1 hour chart hasn't slowed down too much. The 2 hour, it's still bearish. The 4 hour is still bearish. The daily is still bearish, and the weekly one is still bearish. 2 out of 3. Even the chart over here is bearish because we're probably gonna have a change of character here. But we haven't had the full move down, so it's like neutral bearish, basically. So it's not typically when I would open up a trade, but I think you're going to see a lot of people try to take their trades here, right? Again, my stop loss is right down here. We'll see how it works out. It's really a gamble at this point, because we don't have enough consolidation happening to really shift the mood. Like if the 15-minute is still bearish, the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly is all bearish. Just because the 5-minute turned bullish, is that enough? That's the question. Is it enough? You know, we'll have to wait and see. We might have another flush. Like, you know, we've been here before with these consolidations. We may just have a flush down. But really, I've made enough money over the last, few months, of course, where I'm just like, okay, I'll take this little chance and show you guys what could happen here. But these live trades are kind of just fun. I enjoy doing them quite a bit. But this is not normally where I would do the trade, that's for sure. But it's always nice to maybe go off of your strategy normally and see where it goes. I bet you might even see some people talking about buying Bitcoin right now. I think if I have made a fault in my trade at this point, my fault is probably that I made my stop loss here instead of being all the way down here. But because I don't normally make these trades, I'm just not going to open myself up to more risk, especially since I don't expect it to go very high on the upside tomorrow. Maybe about 1,000 points up, maybe 1,500 points on the max, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. Nothing too much crazier. And basically see how we're testing out this support. We could always flush down below it. That's not the bad thing. We just don't want to break down below this here because that's the new low. That signals the downtrend isn't over, and that means we're probably going to be heading down here. Will Bitcoin go more than like 5% down for the day? Oh, I don't know about that. That's kind of a risky thing. So we might actually consolidate for a little bit, then go down even more tomorrow. Tomorrow's candle still means tonight, basically. But from open to close right now, we're down about that 4.5% or something. Can we come down 6% in a day? Yeah, we can. But, 7%, 8% on the flush, maybe a little bit less likely. So, again, the aggressive trader is going to do a few different things here, but you're going to have fun with it regardless. I would say if you want to be aggressive, maybe don't have your stop loss here. I'm doing that because that's the way I like to trade. But you might have your stop loss back down here on 40,225, or right before the stop loss, or right before the support level here. It's literally everybody has their own strategy here, but this one is just more of a I don't know trade. The 15 hasn't even turned bullish yet, so again, it's a very high risk trade. My gut says probably it's best just to kind of wait a little bit. But again, it really depends on your own style of trading, right? And then we'll see if we actually manage to hold or if we break down again. And that trade is probably down about $100 now out of the 129 that I'm available to lose. So we're getting close to that stop loss here. And hey, to Limits, happy to see you. Good morning from Germany, or good evening from Germany. Or I guess it's good afternoon from America, but it's evening where you are. Not a bad idea. I've got a case of canned chili and a loaf of bread left. See, exactly. But it's always better with homemade bread. I don't know how many people just have flour hanging at their house, but I have flour. I have a lot of flour. I have lots of flour and I have lots of rice for disaster. Because, and then I have lots of chicken in the freezer and stuff like that. And if it gets too cold again, you can just leave the chicken outside and it'll stay frozen. But, the chicken and stuff, chicken and rice is for Loki. So you can have some food. I have some frozen vegetables I can cook up, and he can have some food. And I got a whole bunch of canned tuna because remember, I'm watching my sister's cat because she's off at college. So The cat's gonna be just fine. Lots of kibble there. Loki has kibble as well, but I don't like to feed him kibble too much. He's more of a raw meat type of dog. Where he likes to go and get beef, chicken, lamb. He's a sucker for lamb, a big sucker for lamb. He also likes ducks. He likes to crunch on duck heads. It's his like favorite treat out there. But yeah, okay. Let me clean your eyeball very fast. It's annoying me. There you go. Good boy. I clean his eyeballs every day because I don't like the little grime that gets there. There we go. Alright. But yeah. But we're basically trying to hold here, guys. It's not the best thing, but it's what we're trying to do. Let's go right here. Oh, he's growling at something. Some random dude walking in our neighborhood. His hair is all patched up on the back of his head. Let me see if I can take a picture for you guys. Oh no, he saw me. Come here, up. Oh no, you can't see it anymore. I love when he gets angry because then his hair just like starts to really fur. Let's see if I can take a picture of it, show it to you guys. See. I don't know how to share this photo. Can I? No, I don't know if I can. It might work here. Let me see. Hey, we're managing to hold right now. That's a good sign there, guys. We're managing to hold. The way he growls is just hilarious. All right. Which one is this? Why are you whining now? Okay, well, he just ran off to go do something. I don't know what. I can't find the same account here. Should be towards. Oh yeah, it's not showing up. That sucks. Well, anyway, I'll show it to you guys another time. It's just fun to watch him like that, the way he is. Oh, somebody's knocking on my door. They're walking off. I'm really not sure what the heck this guy's doing. He's kind of just staring at yards and stuff. I don't know, I think Loki scared him off from the front door. Wait a second. This is just me making sure my house is in safe condition in case of some robber. The guy seems normal enough, but I don't think he likes Loki at the door growling at him. Huh? This guy is being awkward as fuck. He's just walking around in circles in the cul-de-sac. I think he sees Loki though, so he's just like, huh. Yeah, not entirely sure what that guy was doing. I don't know. Just in case he comes back, I got my rifle. If it can put a hole in an elk, it can put a hole in a human. You know what I mean? All right. Looks like a pretty local bottom so far. Yeah, so far this has actually ended up being okay. But see, when I told you guys I was buying at the not a good time, this is what I meant, because I want to buy off of those moves, because that makes your life so much easier, because right now I'm so negative. But again, long story short, you're still fine, but you have those order blocks now going on. All right, see, I got Loki. He's protecting me right now. He's like, this guy is like a whole, you know, 100, like 75 yards away from the house, and Loki's still going over there growling. My cat gets the worst eye burgers and then screams when I pull them out, but then looks so much happier. I know it really. What do you call it? Oh, we're seeing a consolidation here too. So if we manage to break this top one, we'll be in a good spot for a reversal. Yeah, eye burgers are the worst, but you know what? Gotta clean them. You gotta clean them. I clean Loki's out daily so he doesn't have any problems and he doesn't get mad when I touch him later on. Hey Nicholas, just hold it up to the screen. I wish it was. Well, it might be that easy. I don't know. It's kind of hard because the way my camera works. I don't think you guys will be able to see it too well. No, you can kind of see the little lumps. That's about as best you can do. It's too hard from there. But what do you call? Now I gotta watch out for some random freaking weirdo in the middle of the street. Give my neighbors a call and be like, who the fuck was that guy? See, got me worried all of a sudden. Loki doesn't growl at everybody that walks by our house. He only growls at certain people. And I trust his instincts. Who could be knocking on my door and name that tune anyone I know, right? I went spot long at 40,925. That's a much better level than I got into, so far we're doing okay. I'm hoping the consolidation holds here, but now the 15 minutes, looking a little bit more bullish. He's not here, okay. Now I gotta double check. 15-minute hasn't turned bullish yet, but it looks like it could turn bullish over the next half an hour or so, which would be kind of nice here. Because we're about to close this in 11 seconds. We're about to close this 15-minute candle. Then it's up to the races. Can we go a little bit higher? That would tune everything to being more bullish in the 15-minute. Not the 1 hour, not everything like that. And again, we're basically looking at that short-term resistance being up here on that 20 moving average here. We should see it continue on moving, but again, we don't have enough data to really support that. But if you look at the 5-minute chart, it looks good. The 15-minute chart, a little bit more wonky here, of course, a little bit more wonky. Alright, but yeah, mostly consolidation zone. Loki on it for real? Oh yeah, definitely. And hey Shannon, I can try, but the way it's kind of set up is basically I'm not going like course by course by course. I'm doing all of the written up stuff first, then I'm adding all the written stuff onto the PowerPoints, then I'm going to be going PowerPoint by PowerPoint by PowerPoint with video. Once I do the videos and stuff, sure, I can put some on there for you, that'd be fine, but it's still going to be a while because the process that I'm taking is just kind of like for ADHD purposes. It just makes it like a smoother transition. Once I actually do videos, I think I can actually put some stuff on there for you and make it a little bit easier, so you guys can see some videos. But if you didn't hear, Shannon, when it eventually comes out, members are going to get it for free for the first week or something, 2 weeks maybe, 2 weeks or something like that. Everybody else can get it on a discount for like a week or something like that. And then it goes full price for everybody after like a 2 weeks period of time or something similar. So like the regulars that drop in at least once every 2 weeks, or the members that drop in once every 2 weeks, they'll get either for free or for a heavy discount, like 75% discount for everybody else. But then it goes up to a pretty drastic price because I'm going to be charging like $500 for it. So, you know, 50 to 70 hours, it'll be a lot. It'll talk about a whole host of stuff. It's like trading, technical analysis, how much to buy, how little to buy, best exchanges, best computers, you know, where to get your taxes done. Oh, it'll talk about a whole host of stuff, just not how to buy and sell, so to speak. But yeah, when it comes out, I will definitely. Hey, Pablo, go away. Don't come around here anymore. I mean, that's probably what is ground. I mean, I still see this guy walking in the reflection of my whiteboard. I can still see him just lurking. Not at my door necessarily. He might just be looking for a pet or something. I don't know. Like sometimes people lose their pets in the rain and then they come around asking for them. There was these really nice Korean ladies that came across, and I actually went out to help them look because they gave me a whole tray of Korean kiwis, which was crazy. Like, I'm not talking about like 5 or 6. No, I mean like a whole thing of kiwis and 2. But to every neighbor to ask them to help and look for the cat. I don't know if they actually managed to, dog. I don't know if they actually managed to find the dog or not. But I felt so obliged, like, you give me this, of course I'll help you out. So I went out and I was looking for, and I took Loki out to see if I could scare him out from anywhere, But yeah, it is one of the few times I feel like, what do you call? Okay, yeah. Assembly line method, there you go. That's a much better articulation than I've been going with. Me and the homies can roll by quick if you want. I know, right? Well, see, I have a pretty substantial weapon if I need to go there. But it's just weird because we don't see people like lurking like that. I'll keep an eye on him. That's for sure. Hey, no worries, Shannon. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Because honestly, Shannon, I don't even know if I'm going to give you guys a free course, because I don't know if I'm allowed to give you guys the free course. What I'm basically going to do is give you guys access to all the videos, so you can watch all the videos. It won't be in the course format, but basically video 1, video 2, video 3, and you can kind of go down, but it won't be video 1. It'll be like video 1, introduction to stocks and crypto, video 2, video or lesson 1, video 1, lesson 1, video 2, and I'll be like A, B, C, and I'll have a whole host of things. But yeah, it'll be pretty good. But okay, everybody, I'm going to end this stream off right here. We'll see if Bitcoin manages to break back down. I have not had breakfast or lunch yet today. I do need to go get some food in my stomach. All I've had was a few cups of coffee because I was taking Loki out. And I'm going to go get my rifle and pull it up on my shoulder to go scope the guy out and see what's going on. Of course, scoping him with no ammo in the gun. Got to be safe and responsible. But seeing what's happening. And just wait to see if Bitcoin breaks it above this order block on the 5-minute chart. That gives you more hope for the 15-minute chart, because on the 15-minute chart, we should be looking at a pushback up towards the 15-minute chart. But again, we don't have that much confirmed because even this hasn't had a confirmation to going bullish just yet. Right? So it's a gamble if you're buying right now, but a lot of people would be willing to take this gamble on the more aggressive side because you're trying to get the lower buy-ins. Okay, so I'll see you guys a little bit later on tonight. I'll probably see you guys around 6 o'clock my time here, 6 o'clock Pacific, or if I'm lucky, I'll get around between maybe 5 to 6. So maybe that means East Coasters, maybe before 9 o'clock your time, okay, or before 8 o'clock your time. So I'll see you guys a little bit later, and you can see it's trying to pump up right now. Enjoy yourself. Don't freak out too much. Just because Bitcoin's popping off doesn't mean you just have to buy Bitcoin. You might see some altcoins looking for opportunities, like right now, Ape Token. This is about to pop off right here. So Ape Token may be another good play if you guys want to go down that road. So see you guys a little bit later.